Well, we're waiting for the arrival of both teams on the ice, and it gives us an opportunity here to check scratches for this evening's game. The Penguins, we know, will be without Mo Mantha, who hurt his back in New Jersey on Thursday night after being checked by Tim Higgins of the Devils. Went to the hospital for observation. He is out, but will not play, and he'll be out on a day-to-day basis. He'll go back to Pittsburgh. The Penguins, of course, playing tomorrow night against the Kings, and our guess is he will not play against Los Angeles and go back and get some further testing on that bad back. The other scratches that we have, Paul?
Well, I'll tell you, it's tough to say who isn't scratched on the Islanders anymore. They've had so many injury problems, but Kenny Morrow is out still. He'll be out till the end of the month with a knee injury. Bob Bourne is out with an injured hand till March. Billy Smith is scratched. He's suspended. Tonight will be his last game of a 6-game suspension. Matt Sahlin has been scratched for tonight's game, as has Dave Langevin. And Thomas Janssen returns to the lineup for the Islanders. Now, of course, Rick Kehoe is scratched from the Penguin lineup, and he is, of course, still out with that bad back, and it looks like, as we saw in the paper the other day, it might be for the whole season. We'll find out, I guess, as we go along.
Penguins, of course, without Andy Brickley and Bruce Crowder, both were sent to Baltimore. Brickley did go to the American Hockey League, and Crowder elected not to report. And so apparently Bruce Crowder is going to retire or finish his career. He's gone back to the Northeast, the Boston area, I believe, and has decided not to report to the American Hockey League.
Mike, I talked to Bruce Crowder, and this was about a week ago, and he told me that he felt that the one thing he didn't need was any more seasoning at the age of 27, and so he decided not to go back to Baltimore. And I guess he was very disappointed in the, in the way things went for him. But when you get up to that age of 27 to 28, and you have to be sent back to the minor leagues, I guess that's when you really start to consider, what your future is going to be. And Bruce just decided he better hang up the skates.
I don't think you mentioned the fact that Wayne Babbage is out of the lineup with a bad back for the Pens.
Right.
He will not be playing tonight. The goaltender for the Pens tonight will be Danny Heron. Kind of a surprise to me. Heron sitting on the bench the other night in New Jersey. Had an errant puck hit him in the head, and he took over 30 stitches and opened up a big gash, and his eye is partially closed. But he'll get the nod tonight over Roberto Romano. And we know who will start for the Islanders. It'll be Kelly Rudy. Rudy will be starting his 9th straight game. And the Islanders, led by Rudy, hit the ice. They have been hot. Let's check the goal-getter person tonight.
Okay, our goal-getter contestant for the first period is W.H. Willard Jr. of Rosslyn Avenue in Springdale, PA. Mario Lemieux will be playing for him here in the first period. He'll be going for $100 worth of groceries from Giant Eagle. If you'd like to join in on the Giant Eagle goal-getter contest, just stop by any new Giant Eagle supermarket, pick up an entry form, fill it out, mail it to the Penguins, and of course tell us what player you think will score a goal for you. And if it happens, you're going to win some groceries.
Well, this broadcast is intended for the private use of our viewing audience. Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Civic Arena Corporation and the Pittsburgh Penguins is prohibited.
Mike, you mentioned that Wayne Babbage is out with a back. Actually, it's his left knee or his right knee that's bothering him. It was strained, and he's going to be out for a while. He's wearing the cast on his leg, and Babbage, of course, now riding the bike with his arms to try to keep in shape.
For the Islanders, starting in goal, number 30, Kelly Rudy.
I don't know why I said bad back. I guess I was thinking of Mo Mantha.
Yeah, I'm sure you were.
And you mentioned Kehoe with a bad back, and that's a pinched nerve in the neck. So we'll get it all straight. This guy must love us.
And the left wing, number 27, John Tonelli.
We know who is playing. We can tell you that. You'll be able to see him on the ice. Penguins on the road, 5-17-2. The Islanders here at home, 19 wins, 7 losses, and a tie. They were almost unbeatable in the early part of the season here at home.
Sports Channel held their first.
Now they're going to have a special award here to Michael Bossy of the New York Islanders, who won the Athlete of the Year in the New York area here. An award handed out by the folks at Sports Channel that carry the cable games here. And he defeated some pretty strong competition. Dwight Gooden of the Mets, Don Mattingly, Keith Hernandez, Mark Gastineau of the Jets, Bernard King, John McEnroe, Daryl Dawkins, Mark Freeland, and even Slew of Gold. So he got his nose out in front there. And Michael pushed across the finish line, and he won it all.
It's funny, Mike.
It's well deserved.
They always have that argument about who's, whether or not jockeys are athletes, but to now categorize horses as athletes is getting pretty ridiculous, really. But
there have been some amazing horses, however. Perhaps maybe one of the greatest we've seen in our lifetime was Secretariat.
He was an athlete. Mike Bossy, he's really something. This guy, 7 consecutive 50-goal seasons.
He's standing with Jim Massengale of the cable company that runs Sports Channel. Mike Bossy in the last 2 games has 9 points, 4 goals, 5 assists. He has 33 lifetime career hat tricks, which is tied now, which puts him in a tie with Wayne Gretzky in the NHL all-time lead. And he's the first player ever to score 40 or more goals in 8 straight seasons. He's the only player to score 50 or more in 7 straight. Now our national anthem. Joe Dewar will sing it.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red flare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Well, the referee for tonight's game will be Don Koharski wearing the red armbands. The linesman Ron Foyt and Dan McCourt. McCourt on your left on the TV screen. Now moving out quickly. And a look at the Penguins starting goaltender, Denny Herron.
Denny Herron has a goals against average of 4.75. He's 7-10-3.
Please report to security.
As we mentioned, Denny was hitting the head on the bench the other night, and he's playing anyway. And there's Kelly Rudy, who shut out the Pens last week, his second shutout of the year. 3.52 goals against. 15-10-3 is his record. An excellent stand-up goaltender. Very quick. Got a good head on his shoulders, and really one of the best young goaltenders in the NHL.
Islanders will start their all-star line right now. Brent Sutter at center with Mike Bossy and John Tonelli all headed to the all-star game. And defensively, Dineen and Thomas Janssen. The Penguins going with Mike Bullard, Doug Shedd on the right wing. The left winger will be Bob Erie. And defensively, Brian Maxwell joined by Randy Hillier. And a slight delay here as they come over to the Islanders bench. Apparently there's something maybe wrong with the gate here. Danny McCourt, one of the linesmen, looking. Yeah, looks like we're going to go and play some hockey here. And Don Koharski ready to drop the puck. Penguins and the Islanders, 6th meeting of the year. The Islanders lead the season series 3-2. We're underway. Tonelli putting the puck up to the Penguin line. Bob Erie, Penguin left winger, trying to get around Tonelli, who checked him well. Now the puck into the Penguins in to Brent Sutter. Sutter feeds towards the net in front. Bossy couldn't direct it in. Islanders almost scoring as they walked in. Now Tonelli between the circles. Backhand shot deflected. Bullard of Pittsburgh in behind the net. And the Penguin captain lost it. Sutter to Mike Bossy. Left point. Johnson of New York walks in. Slap shot deflected. I think Bossy got a piece of that. It went up to the crowd. We'll get a face-off and the Penguins in. And the Islanders come out buzzing like bees around a hive.
Yes, they do. And they must, you know, they scout the Penguins. They know what the Pens' problems have been lately. Penguins have had trouble in the early moments of hockey games. And it's ironic because when they were winning games earlier in the year, and I think we even commented on one of our telecasts that Bob Berry had done an outstanding job this year of getting this team ready early in games. No distractions around the locker room. They were coming out and jumping on teams. And it hasn't happened here in the last 10 games.
Change of lines for the Penguins. Mario Lemieux on with Warren Young and Kevin McCarthy. And Bossy has it right side. Gerald Diddick just on. Slap shot, and he missed the net. Comes off to the near left point to Dennis Potvin. Rolls it in behind the net, all alone. Brent Sutter. Sutter now checked by Doug Bodger of Pittsburgh. Around the boards, and Warren Young feeds to the head. It'll come to number 25, Kevin McCarthy. Playing the right wing here with Babbage out to Lemieux. Wristing one. Rudy makes the first save of the night for him. And Bodger taps it in behind the goal. Lemieux centers it, but it comes right to John Tonelli. And Tonelli in the off wing. Stops at center red. He might come off here. Goes into the Penguins in. He'll turn and go to the bench as back to play the puck will be Kevin McCarthy. 1:10 gone, first period. No score. Mario Lemieux, number 66. Lead it up the right wing. Nobody home. Dwayne Sutter lost it. Now to Young. Young and the Islanders in a wrist shot, and Rudy stops that with a glove. He'll put it in behind the net, around the boards, near side. Lifted back to center, and Bodger corrals it there. Doug Bodger. Rip it into the Islanders end, go to the bench, and the Penguins making some changes now. And it's Dwayne Sutter, number 12 for the Islanders. To the right wing for Brian Trottier. Back to Sutter. Ahead for Clark Gillies. And And Gillies into the near corner of the Penguins in with Busquets. Gillies hit on the play, bumped off the puck. Loose behind the net. Lemieux still on here for the Pens. Feed it ahead to Busquets, and he'll go to the bench, and the Busquets now in the rush. Shoots it up into the Islander zone. Rudy plays it to Stefan Pearson. To Trottier, hit by Troy Loney of the Pens. Off the boards, though, Dwayne Sutter banks of the head back to center. The Penguins on the front line right now with John Chabot, Troy Loney, and Roger Belanger. Loney on the left wing and Belanger on the right side. And Chabot in the middle. Belanger. Checked on the play. LaFontaine shooting long on here, and he'll make the save and hold on. Well, Denny Herron stopping that shot by Pat LaFontaine. LaFontaine played very well against the Penguins a week ago last Saturday night. The Islanders winning on a shutout by Kelly Rudy.
Well, despite the fact that the Islanders have been buzzing around in the early seconds of this game, that's really their first shot on goal in the game. LaFontaine getting it up a little bit, sailing it up on Denny Herron. He took it in the chest and then covered it up.
Chicago beat Boston this afternoon 6-5 in Boston, New Jersey, and Quebec, a 2-2 tie. Those are both finals. LaFontaine with Greg Gilbert and Pat Flatley. LaFontaine and Flatley rookies. And the face-off controlled by Pittsburgh. Chabot getting the puck back to Randy Hillier, number 34. On the left wing, Galoni. Let it go for Chabot. Work it up into the Islander zone. LaFontaine cleans up his own end around the Boudelier. Islander defenseman off the board, but not out. Chabot. Now to Loney, wrist shot, and that's up high on Rudy, who saw it all the way, and he held on to it. We'll take a timeout right now. There's no score here in New York. This is the Penguins Hockey Network. Pittsburgh, checked by Flatley, who put the stick into him. It's picked up, though, by Erie. He puts one on the net, and Rudy knocks that aside. Greg Gilbert, red-headed left winger for the Islanders, passing to Stefan Pearson. Pearson to the Pens end, back to Gilbert. Gilbert trying to shoot it, he fanned on it. Flatley now in the near corner, giving the puck to LaFontaine. The loose puck taken by Hillier. Around the near boards for Mike Bullard. And up to center to Doug Shedd. Skates his way into Islander real estate. Down the left wing boards. The puck's around by Gilbert, and he'll just dump it back to the neutral zone. And the bullet. Mike Bullard coming up with the puck. To the right wing to Hillier. Hillier right side moves in deep. He let a shot go. Rudy had the angle covered well. Made an easy save. And the Islanders throw it up to the blue line, but stolen now by Hillier. Hillier around behind the net. And Gord Dineen. Dineen to the right wing. Too far for Mike Bossy. And the Penguins pick it up again. On direction of the Islander line. Dineen back to Paul Boudelier. Boudelier. Into Penguin ice. The puck loose in the near corner. Roger around, gave it away. Bossy in front, a backhander, and Herron stopped him. Herron seemed to read that play very nicely. Now Tonelli centered. Bossy there. Shot again. Save made Herron. Loose puck clear to the corner. And Young trying to get a handle on it. Up to the right point. Dineen hit by Mario Lemieux, and Lemieux will just dump him on the ice. Now McCarthy guns his way back for the Penguins. McCarthy slided over to Young. Young has to go to the near boards to get the puck back. Lemieux gets it. Right point pass for McDonnell of Pittsburgh. He can't get it. Here is Brent Sutter 2-on-1 with Bossy. Brent Sutter moves in. Bossy there. He shot it wide. He went to the far side and missed the net. Janssen left point. He cranks one, and that hit the glass behind Denny Herron. Now Diddick on the right wing board. He is hit by Bodger. Bodger has it. He's going to ice the puck to take it out of danger. And back in the play will be Thomas Janssen. Icing called against the Penguins. No score. First period, 15:20 left. We'll pause, and this is the Penguins Hockey Network. And we're back to live action. Our apologies to you. The Islanders almost scoring moments ago as Brian Trottier had a chance in front of Denny Herron.
I'll take a look at it. The puck kind of popped loose, and Trottier took a whack at it as he was backing away from the net a little bit, so he couldn't get all the wood on it he wanted. And Herron was able to pounce on it, move it in behind the net, and finally he froze it in behind the goal cage.
Trottier joined by Clark Gillies and Dwayne Sutter. Trottier, to me, was the player of the game last Saturday night against the Pens. Really led this team as he has done, really, over the Stanley Cup years. Great performance by Brian Trottier in the 4-0 victory. Gerald Diddick and Potvin defensively. Potvin left point, Penguins in. Takes his time, wristing one on Herron. He'll make the stop. The rebound, Chabot. Takes it in behind his own net. Penguins a little bit confused right now. Chabot off the boards, ahead to center to Troy Loney. Loney back to the Islander line and dumps it in. Dwayne Sutter will chase it down. Up for Trottier, off his stick, right to Rod Busquets, the Penguin defenseman. the referee Koharski. Wayne Sutter to open space. Belanger checking Gilly. And Trottier comes over to finally take it. They'll go back to the captain of the Islanders, Dennis Potvin. Scoreless game, first period, 5.5 minutes gone. And it is turned over behind the Islander net. Potvin work it off the wood to the blue line, and Belanger unable to keep it in. Maloney has a broken stick, and he's going to come to the bench here. Here are the Islanders. Wayne Sutter on the move. A wrist shot on here, and he'll make the arm save. Not too much on that. And Belanger plays it ahead to Shabbat. Back to Belanger. Off the body of Greg Gilbert. Now Busquets going to Todd Charlesworth. Charlesworth, the rookie defenseman, put it up in the air, and we've got an offside call. The Penguins apparently had somebody inside the blue line. We've got a break in the action. No score. First period. This is the Penguins Hockey Network. Here's a look at the Dwayne Sutter shot moments ago. We're back to live action. Randy Hillier shoots it away to the Islanders in. Risling off the boards. Put one on the net. The save made by Rudy, and the rebound. Lamoureux trying to put it behind him, but he couldn't connect. Now Bobby Nystrom. Nystrom stepping up to the Penguins end. Couldn't get by Brian Maxwell. Maxwell ahead for Risling. Swinging wide to the Islanders blue line. Feeds it in. He's knocked down on the play by Pearson. The puck in behind the net. Lamoureux gets it now to the left of Rudy. Came out, but he couldn't make a play. And the Islanders counterattack. Gordy Lane. Lane slowly comes to center. Roll it up into the pen zone. Heron comes out of the net. He'll play it for Risling. Risling again hit by Caller and goes off his skates. Maxwell directing the puck to Hillier. And Risling to center. Shoots one off the knee. He'll turn and go to the bench. The Penguins make a change on the move. No score. Almost 7 minutes gone in period number 1. Johnson now into the Penguin zone. Laid it down the boards. Joe McNamara tried to clear it. Hit Greg Gilbert. Now jamming in the corner. Nystrom's over. He'll try and work it free. Bullard got a piece of him. And Gilbert still putting the skates into the puck, and finally they'll freeze it. Yeah, Koharski making the players work. Kind of like that in the referee. Makes the game go on and make them dig for the puck and get it out of there. Makes the game a little bit faster and more interesting. We have no score here in this first period. 12:54 to go. We'll look at the Penguin bench and Bob Berry.
Bob held a little meeting with the team after the New Jersey game. Try to talk about what some of the problems were. See if they couldn't get it back in gear a little bit.
LaFontaine with Flatley and Gilbert. And the Islanders, Deneen with the puck comes in. A wristing one just went wide. Of Heron's left-hand side. Back in front and hit the post. Now behind the goal. LaFontaine tried to center. They do, and it comes off the near side as Bodger clears, but not out. Flatley to the right point to Deneen. Over to LaFontaine. Very clever in front. He went to Gilbert. His deflection went wide. Flatley with it. All New York right now. Right side. Deneen. Wrist shot. Save Heron. He holds on. Bullard and LaFontaine. Now Gilbert comes over to take a run at Bullard, and Bodger comes in behind. Flatley has a hold of one of the pins. As tempers come alive a little bit here.
Actually, Mike, I think this is good. I think it's good that the two teams are getting a little hot here early in the hockey game. I think it's good for the Penguins. It gets them more involved, and I think they need that in the first period of hockey games.
We'll take a timeout. No score. First period here in New York. The Penguins and the Islanders will return. This is the Penguins Hockey Network. County Coliseum. The shots on goal so far. The Islanders out shooting Pittsburgh 8-5. And Lemieux now in against Brent Sutter. Islanders with Bossy in control. Right point to Gerald Diddick, the rookie defenseman. Shoots it towards and that blocked by Charlesworth. Skating behind his own goal around the right side for Kevin McCarthy. McCarthy to Lemieux. Good pass left wing. Young comes in. He fakes a shot. Turns around. Tried to drop it back to Mario Lemieux. Couldn't. Here the Islanders lead pass to Bossy. Trying to beat Busquets. Comes down. He shoots and scores. Mike Bossy delivers from 40 feet, and the Islanders lead 1-0. And that was classic Michael Bossy.
He can shoot the puck so hard. He took a nice pass from Sutter back at center ice. You see Brent Sutter just slip it up to Bossy. He's all alone. He walks in and cranks it from the top of the circle. Denny Heron had come out to challenge him, and one time Denny tried to guess in Pittsburgh on a breakaway when Bossy had a breakaway, and this time you could tell he was waiting for Bossy to make the first move. He just plain beat him on it. He just blasted it right by him. He's got an overwhelming slap shot.
Well, he's got the overwhelming slap shot, but he's got tremendous accuracy, too. He knows exactly where the puck is going most of the time. And he knew exactly where he was going to go with that puck before it left his stick. And the great ones know how to do that. And Bossy certainly is in that category. Bossy from Brent Sutter and John Tonelli. Those are the assists. So the Islanders connecting first, and they lead 1-0. Michael Bossy again behind his own net. And he'll skate up. Checked by Lemieux, but the puck up the right side to Diddick. Rink-wide pass to John Tonelli. Tonelli drop it up on the near side for Brent Sutter. Sutter working hard behind the net. Bossy trying to center. He got the back of the net. And Lemieux turns and comes the other way. 3-on-2 develops here. Lemieux with Tonelli chasing. Lemieux now left side. Beat it across for Young. And it bounced by his stick. Montman clears around. Not out. McCarthy behind the net. Lemieux was decked by Pearson. Penalty coming up against the Islanders. Well, Lemieux was hit. A holding call coming up against the New York Islanders. 1-0 New York leading. Lemieux will get himself back up. The Pens will go to the power play. We'll return in a moment. This is the Penguins Hockey Network.
Penguins were trying to move it around in the Islanders zone. Mario Lemieux brought it in, tried to go to Warren Young, and then Lemieux ended up in front of the net, and he was held by Stefan Pearson. Let's see if we ever get to that. Lemieux parked himself in front of the goal, and Pearson held him and dumped him to the ice. He's off for holding at 8:35. Penguins with a chance to get back in the game here.
Penguins 19th in the NHL in the power play. Not an impressive stat by any means. The Islanders in penalty killing, third in the league. 82%. Left point, Joe McDonnell shooting on in the stop phase. The rebound came out. Bullard banned on it. He couldn't quite get it. And the Islanders come back, and they're tough shorthanded, too. They have 9 shorthanded goals. The goal last week that really did the Penguins in was a shorthanded tally by John Tonelli on a breakaway in the 4-0 Islander victory. Back in behind the Penguin net, Randy Hillier. He is out here on the point for the Penguins with Joe McDonnell. And up into the Islanders zone. Left into the left wing corner. Around behind the net it goes. 1-0 New York. Bullard takes over. Right point pass to Hillier. Hillier off to Bullard. Going to crank it up and let it go, and it missed the net. McDonnell slides it back in the corner. Gave it right to Deneen. He finds the opening, and that's up ice. Well, the Penguin passing in the power play has not been very crisp at all over the last month. They just can't make those passes really quick. And the opposition cutting them off. And it goes to the left side of the Islanders zone. Jam up there, and they'll hold it. They're going to face off on Islander real estate. What I'm talking about is when you move that puck around, there is a time when you'll be deliberate, but to get the jump on the other players in that box defense, you've got to move that puck pretty quickly and make them think too. And if you're slow, and if you're just, it's not even a minimal amount of time, it's just a little bit of a difference, but just moving that puck as fast as you can with accuracy and good passes really helps your cause. And the Pens just haven't been jumping on the power play. I guess that's a better word to describe it.
Got to get some movement from some of those players too who don't have the puck, so that they get him, the guy with the puck has a target and a guy who's open to get the puck too. That time McDonnell threw it in the corner and there was nobody there.
Power play goal. Shedden and Bullard both with 11 apiece to lead the way for the Pens. And the puck cleared to center. We're down to 45 seconds to go, and the penalty to Stefan Pearson. Islanders lead 1-0. Back into New York ice again. Cordy Lane hit by Young. Got the puck around to the near boys. Flatley let it deflect, but Lemieux comes over to keep it alive. Back in behind the net for Warren Young. Young with 29 goals to lead the Penguins in that category. Avoids Potvin. Going to the far corner is Warren Young. Lemieux has to step back. He got to go to the left point to Bodger. Right side, McDonnell. He shoots one. Blocked by Flatley. And the Islanders again pick it up. 11 seconds to go in the penalty. Gilbert to the Pens end. Feed it in front for Flatley. There's a little confusion there in front, but the Penguins have it. Penalty is almost over. Lemieux directs it back to Young in the right wing. Up ahead for McDonnell. The penalty is over. Pearson comes on, and the Islanders have killed it easily. On the near wing. Here's Lemieux cutting back into the Islanders there. Left for Young. Young tried to pull the trigger. He couldn't do that. And we've got a penalty coming up here. It's going to be against the Islanders again. New York will be shorthanded again. Stefan Pearson has picked up another holding call. One more and he'll get 15 yards. 1-0 Islanders on top. We'll be back. This is the Penguins Hockey Network.
McDonnell along the boards. Pearson just stepping out of the penalty box came over and got a hold of McDonnell as he was trying to play the puck, and he wasn't. He just stepped out and got another holding call. He just put him right back in again. Time of the penalty 10:47. Pearson getting a little grabby here tonight. And the Penguins hoping to capitalize this time around. They've got their the same power play unit on they had for the last power play.
Well, Shabbat with Bullard and Riesling on the wings. The point man will be Hillier and McCarthy. And we got a whole new look here, Paul. McCarthy and Hillier playing the points. And it goes back in behind the Pittsburgh net. McCarthy to the right side. And stolen by Brent Sutter for a moment. He falls down. Grabbed by John Tonelli. Goes it up inside the Penguin blue line. And Hillier back. Tonelli, what a great, ferocious checker this guy is, John Tonelli. We just can't say enough about his play. Here's Sutter trying to set up Tonelli. Can't do that. Chabot to the left wing for Risley. Up ahead of the Islanders in, but cleared by Janssen. And it comes up into the penalty box area. We're down to a minute 22. And it's almost right now as if the Penguins are in slow motion here in this power play. Just unable to make anything click at all. This is their second attempt. The Islanders lead on a breakaway goal by Mike Bossy at 7:54 of period number 1.
This would be their number 1 power play unit coming on now with Lemieux and Young and Shedden and McDonnell and Doug Bodger at the points.
Lane can't clear. Comes in front. Shedden took a crack at it. That's blocked. Now Potvin finds the opening. He'll clear it up on. Aaron will leave the puck for Doug Bodger. Trottier out here in a penalty-killing role with Mike Bossy. And the Pens another errant pass. Grabbed by Dennis Potvin. Potvin flip it ahead back into Penguin real estate again. Bodger almost lost it to Bossy. Interference call, though, against the Penguin. Interference call against Doug Bodger. And that's going to even things up. Now 54 seconds remain on the penalty to Stefan Pearson. And Koharski now making the first call of the night against the Penguins.
Aaron got in the way of Bossy, who was coming around the net to chase after the puck carrier. And that is interference. You're not allowed to do that, so Denny Herron is penalized. Let's see who'll serve the penalty.
Well, the way Koharski looked right at Bodger as if to point at him as if the penalty was going to belong to him. Denny, there you look at Denny, whose daughter Mandy is celebrating her 5th birthday today. Happy birthday to you, Mandy. Shedden will serve the penalty. Interference call against Denny Herron. Had to be somebody that was on the ice. And the face-off now, and the Penguins in. They're at equal strength. Here's Lane, left side, slap shot. Herron got a piece of that, made the save. Trottier puts it back on, and Herron very quickly got back up and stopped Trottier. Well, he's very familiar with Trottier, of course, playing in the Patrick division for all these years. And you do not give Trottier a second chance or any time at all. And you noticed how quickly Herron got back up after making the save against Lane. Watch this.
Good save by Denny, too. A good quick pad save on Lane. And then he jumped up. Trottier, knowing to just throw that puck back to the net and hope that maybe it lands right in front of Herron and someone could get the stick on it and put it in the net. Herron has looked sharp here in the first period.
We've seen Trottier score a lot of goals like that in his career. And, of course, we've got the opportunity to see him so many times in this division. Now Mike Bullard with 46 seconds to go in the penalty to Pearson. A minute 52 to go in the minor to Herron. And the Penguins. And Pittsburgh controlling this time. Hillier cutting right behind his own net. Islanders lead 1-0 if he joined us late on a Mike Bossy goal. Hillier to the left wing for Brian Maxwell. He'll scoot up to the Islander line. Cut across, but Risley was inside when he did so. And we've got an offside call. Well, the Penguins on the road this year. 5 wins, 17 losses, and just 2 ties. Yeah, they're trying to get it going here. Last year they won 9 games on the road. At home they won only 7. And from the drop of the puck, the Islanders with command of it. This is Gordy Dineen, number 2, to Boudelier. Up the left wing to Brian Trottier. Checked from behind by Bullard, slowed enough to have to set the play up again. Trottier now worked his way to the Penguin line, lost the puck to Hillier, got it right back. Trottier, left point, trying to pass to Dwayne Sutter. Couldn't connect. The Penguins move the other way. Risley beat Dineen down the left wing, moving towards the net. He can't get the shot off. He's hooked from behind. There'll be a penalty coming up against the Islanders. Dineen went right into the goal post, or was it Boudelier? Boudelier went in. Boudelier went in against the goal post. He'll get himself back up, and that new magnetic mooring that they have now may have been a big blessing there. Watch the play.
That was a heck of a move by Riz. He went around Dineen, walked in, tried to get that backhand shot off. He was pulled down by Boudelier, and Riz went flying over Kelly Rudy.
Boudelier, 2 minutes hooking.
Hooking the call on Boudelier.
The penalty is 12:52.
12:52.
Boudelier of the Islanders, 2 for hooking.
All he could do was reach out. That's what you call a good penalty, because Riz was in all alone, and he would have had a chance to get the shot off, but Boudelier hooked him just in time, and gave up his body to do it, ended up crashing into that goal cage.
Now, Pearson had just come on. The penalty had expired to him, so now we've got an equal strength situation again. With the penalty to Denny Herron, time left 1 minute and 1 second, and 2 minutes now on Boutilier's call. 1-0 New York leading. LaFontaine out for the Islanders, sent out by Al Arbor, along with Pat Flatley. The two rookies working together. The Penguins will go with Troy Loney and John Shabbat. Shabbat, number 9. Beat it back into the Islanders' end to the left wing corner. Gerald Diddick. The Islanders have 3 rookies up front now, and it's cleared away by the Islanders. Down deep into Penguin ice. Herron's going to play the puck to defenseman Joe McDonnell. And Pittsburgh at the moment with 3 rookies also on the front line. With everybody involved, Shabbat the lone veteran. Shabbat tap it away to the Islanders' end. Loney going. As the shot go from a bad angle, the stop is made by Rudy. We're down to 25 seconds to go on the Herron penalty. And when that one expires, the Penguins will come out on the power play. Diddick feeds LaFontaine to Potvin. Right wing pass too far. It might be an icing call against the Islanders. Penguins hurry back. Bodger will get there before Flatley. And that was a good bit of hustle there by Doug Bodger, because it brings the faceoff back into Islander territory with just 10 seconds to go. And the Penguins, if they can control the faceoff, will be able to get that extra man on with Doug Shedden coming out of the penalty box in Islander territory.
Mike Bossy's 44th goal of the year. Makes it the 11th time this season he's put the Isles ahead in a game, and has 4 games when they've scored the first goal. They've got a pretty impressive record. See if we can find it here in a moment.
Mario Lemieux out with Warren Young, and the Islanders win the draw. If they can get it up ice now, that'll really help their cause. It comes to Brent Sutter. Off his stick, Hillier. Put it back to the Islander line, delayed offside. Here is the penalty expiring now to the Pens, and Shedden comes on. The Islanders have control of the puck. They are shorthanded. Janssen stepping up to the Penguins' end. He'll go in deep. Now stop along the near board. Looked to go back in the corner, couldn't connect there, and Mike Bullard returns. Check from behind. And after it is Randy Hillier. Hillier of the Penguins put it in front for Young, and it's just not quite there. And the Islanders slip it up the other way. 35 seconds to go on the penalty to Paul Boutilier. Islander defenseman who went out for hooking at 12:52. The Islanders lead the game 1-0. Joe McDonnell. And he is hit by Trottier. Nowhere to go. Tonelli has the puck. Going to Janssen. A quick shot save. Rebound score. Ryan Trottier short-handed. The Islanders now lead 2-0.
Well, Joe McDonnell was tied up by one of the most tenacious people in all of hockey, John Tonelli. He just got out-muscled for the puck. Tonelli won the puck back to Thomas Johnson. He got a quick shot off, and Trottier wasted no time going to that net, finding the rebound. And it was Trottier who out-muscled Joe McDonnell. And Trottier going right to the net after the puck went back to the point.
Well, the first thing they teach you after you make that pass near in the zone is go to the net. And he did just that. Trottier got the rebound.
Delayed by Trottier. Well, he did it all there.
So the Islanders strike for a shorthanded goal. And it is the 12th of the year the Penguins have given up. And here are the Pens now working still in the power play. 4 seconds to go. In the penalty to the Islanders. Boutilier. Right side. Buskus falls down. And Trottier pushes the puck back to the neutral zone. Penalty is over now. Boutilier is on. Both clubs at equal strength. New York 2 and Pittsburgh nothing. Now dropped long into the Islanders' end. Behind the net. Gordy Lane around. Could not get it out. Buskus back in the near corner for John Shabbat. Shabbat puts the puck in front. Gilbert is there to clean up his own end. And he'll just pass it ahead back to Penguin territory. Charlesworth. Gate stop behind his own net. Gilbert comes right in on him, passing to Rod Buskus. Gave it away. Flatley. Near side. Going the right side to LaFontaine. Charlesworth is down. LaFontaine behind the net. The Flatley in front. A shot hit the post. And Herron scrambles to grab control of it and hold on. Oh, great balls of fire. The puck hit the post, came off Denny Herron. He scrambled, turned, tried to find it, and did. Pulled it back in. We'll get a face-off on the Penguins in. 2-0 New York leading here. Period number 1. We'll be back. This is the Penguins Hockey Network.
Like when the Islanders have scored the first goal, they're 21-8-0. Now they have a 2-goal lead, 2-0.
Now the second goal last week was a shorthanded goal, and the second one here against the Penguins is the shorthanded tally also. Here is Lamoureux cutting back into the Islanders' end. Mitch Lamoureux Shoots one weakly to the net. Rudy knocks that away. And Janssen from behind the goal. Number 3, Thomas Janssen. Almost gave it away to Taylor. Bounced off the blade of his stick. Back to center. Maxwell giving the puck back to Risling. And his pass broken up by Flatley. Pins again. Unable to get anything going. Flatley rushing up. Flatley going between the circles, and Maxwell strips him of the puck. Put it back up the middle of the ice, and Deneen hauls it down. The left wing to LaFontaine. A lot of moves. LaFontaine in front. Gilbert, he couldn't deflect it in. Gilbert's after it. Pass deflected. Janssen, good play to keep it in. Backhanded to the net, and it deflected before it got to the goal. Coming to the near side, Greg Gilbert. Gilbert back, left point to Janssen. His shot. Lamoureux blocked that. And Flatley takes over. The left point to Janssen. Steps out. Skates the center point area now. Flip it towards the goal. Deflected by Gilbert again wide. Islanders really working. They're beating the Penguins to the puck. Gilbert to Janssen. Shot. That's stopped by Harris. And off the far boards, Risling. Almost broke his stick and he hit Deneen. Deneen's in deep though. Runs it right into Lamoureux and goes down. Risling finally takes the pass from Mitch Lamoureux. And he'll skate back to center. Shooter away to the Islanders near corner with 3 minutes to go. Now Risling and Deneen, and we got a big fight going on at center ice. Roger involved. Everybody on the ice has a man. There were line changes taking place. Risling was involved with Deneen, I believe, the first 2 combatants.
Well, Deneen returned the favor after Riz had run him along the boards there with the stick as he was coming down the boards in front of the glass.
Well, Dwayne Sutter is in the traffic jam, too. To be honest with you, we were following the puck and did not see it. Just came back to just a half a second to see Risling and Deneen, the first 2 before the pile started.
What happened was Deneen came back over and just pasted Risling against the glass over there up by the red line, and Riz just bounced off the check, dropped the gloves, and started going with it. So Deneen retaliated after Riz had run into him pretty good on the far side and the Penguins end. And Riz is going to go to the locker room. There's Riz taking a good whack at Deneen as he was coming by, and Gordon Deneen just kept on coming. And
he had the stick down, so it was a decent
now let's see.
check.
We'll watch Deneen hit Gary Risling here. He really pops him one. Riz with the puck, getting rid of it, turning his back, and hello. That's what you call retaliation. He came up high with those forearms, tried to run Riz's head right through the glass.
Time of the penalty will be 17:03, or penalties. Here we go. The announcement on them.
5 minutes fighting.
Risling 5 for fighting.
Number 2, Gordon Deneen, 2 minutes charging, 5 minutes fighting.
Deneen gets 2 for charging and 5 minutes for fighting. So the Penguins again will have a power play. I don't know if that's good or bad, the way it's been going for them. They gave up a shorthanded goal here. They just have really had no spark at all in their power play over the last month or so, and they're trying to find a combination here that will work. They just haven't been able to reach down in the grab bag and find one as of yet.
Bob Berry trying to give them a little encouragement. Let's tell you about our next TV game. It's on Thursday, February 14th, Valentine's Day, from Chicago, the Penguins and the Blackhawks.
2-0 New York. 2:57 to go, and Dwayne Sutter now comes over to serve the minor penalty to Deneen. And Frontier in a penalty-killing role with Anders Keller, and the Islanders win the face-off and drill it up the length of the ice, and McDonnell going back to take it to the pin. Frontier's kind of got his number right now. Joe McDonnell is looking every time he gets the puck for Trottier. Here's Lemieux. Lemieux to center circle. To the left wing to Young. Has some room. Young back to Lemieux in front. Tried to flip it to the goal. He couldn't. Potvin had him too well tied up. Now Lemieux and Potvin whack each other. Lemieux has his helmet off. Back behind the net. Lemieux centers out. It goes to Bodger. Slap shot and a miss. Rebound Shed. Oh, what a good save by Rudy there. Shed was that. Now Young has the puck. Young to the right point. McDonnell wristing one. That stopped off Rudy's stick. Here is Young behind the net to Lemieux. Mario looking. Steps to the right of the net. Turning. Trying to shoot it down. Lets it go. And it came off a body. Without a stick was Lane. He'll go to get a new piece there. Timber on the ice. And the Islanders clear it to center. Ratier over to get the puck first. Going to Gordy Lane. And he'll find the opening. We're down to a minute to go in the penalty. To the right of the net. McDonnell turned around by Bossy, and you can see McDonnell right now is a little shaken. He just doesn't have much confidence because the Islanders are a great forechecking team. It comes to Shabbat. Shabbat stopping. He'll look ahead for McDonnell. And he'll go to the right wing for Bob Erie. Beyond his reach. Johnson back to get the puck. Around to Bossy. Bossy wristing the puck rink wide. It'll come to center now with 30 seconds to go in the penalty to the Islanders. They lead 2-0, the Islanders do. Pens lose the puck. Here's Bossy. Looks for a trailer. Can't find anybody. Hillier turns Bossy around. And Mike Bullard takes control of the puck. Minute 15 to go in the period. Here's Bullard rushing up to the Islanders' end. Brendan's foot to the fence. Left the puck for Erie. Pass not there. And Thomas Johnson rides it over to Mike Bossy and up ahead on the right wing. That's killing valuable time. 5 seconds to go. Here is Maxwell. Maxwell steps into Islander ice. And it's an offside call. And the penalty is expired. The Islanders is doing a tremendous job tonight of penalty killing. That's part of it. The other part is the Pens power play.
Mike
hasn't been anything to really talk about. It has just not worked.
Mike Bossy is killing penalties now for the Islanders, something he's never done before. Of course, Butch Goring was the guy that was always killing penalties. Of course, he's now playing for Boston. But Bossy was telling me last week that he's having so much fun, and he's really glad that Al Arbor put him in that situation. He said he's always wanted to do it. I asked him why he thought he was having such a great year, and he said he thinks that's one of the reasons. He's just more involved in the game, doing some different things, getting a little bit more variety, and he's just really having a lot of fun playing the game.
That's not good news for goaltenders around the NHL. And here's the stop by Rudy. They see enough of Bossy in power plays and on the ice, and now they got to see him shorthanded.
Of course, his first 2 shorthanded goals of the year were scored against the Penguins back in December.
Well, Gretzky plays an awful lot, doing everything, and he leads the league in shorthanded goals. So it can be done. But Butch Goring was a tremendous penalty killer and really was a needed ingredient here in New York when they started winning the Cups. Lamoureux with just 47 seconds to go with Tager and Roger Belanger now the unit out. And the puck back to the left point to number 5, Brian Maxwell. Whack it around to the near side. Islanders ice. Tager to Belanger. Roger moves in, trying to shoot it. Put the shot on the net. And Rudy got a piece of that. And the whistle sounds. Koharski, the referee, lost sight of it. And let's see what the face-off is going to be. Right to the right of Kelly Rudy. Wants to play here.
Belanger,
Belanger never did
shot away. No, he never did, but it came right to Rudy's glove, and he just tried to grab it with his glove and ended up pushing it underneath himself, and then the net was knocked loose, I believe. Rudy, you rarely see him down and out of the play. He stands up very well. Reminds you of an old-time goaltender. And I asked Bill Torrey if he reminded him of anybody, and he said yes, Glenn Hall. And of course, that's not a bad guy to be compared to. One of the great goaltenders of all time.
The Islanders on goals by Mike Bossy and Brian Trontier. And again, they'll smother up around the net as Rudy controls that. And the Islanders lead here 2-0. The Islanders' top plus-minus man is John Tonelli at a plus 47. Mike Bossy, and that'll go up 1 tonight. Well, Tonelli's got to be a 48 right now. And Bossy at plus 44. Back to center ice. It'll be Brent Sutter. Pushed ahead up into the Penguins' end with 25 seconds to go in the period. Hillier off the boards for Mark Taylor. And Taylor, the University of North Dakota product. And we've got an offside call against the New York Islanders. Now the Penguins
I think you could
coming home tomorrow night against the Los Angeles Kings at the Civic Arena. Kings are waiting in Pittsburgh. And they'll be playing the Penguins tomorrow night, 7:30. We've got a new coach, Pat Quinn. Fine crew, and they've been a real turnaround this year and have done a great job. And of course, they'll have their famous broadcaster, Bob Miller, in town, who probably is telling everybody who he is tonight in Pittsburgh. Around the far side of the Penguins' end, it'll be Loney. Look back ahead, and don't use my name, Mr. Miller. We're down to 5 seconds. Off the boards. Charlesworth tied up by Trontier. Horn sounds. That's it. The end of period number 1.
You know, it seems funny to hear people refer to this guy, Doug Shedden, as a veteran. He's only 23 years old, and yet that's exactly what he is, a veteran. Doug, how does it feel to be one of the old guys in the locker room these days?
Well, for Mike Boyd and myself, we've been here 4 years. It's kind of a different role we're playing now than when we first came, because when we first came, we were just rookies, and we looked up to guys like Rick Keel, Randy Carlisle. They were our veterans then, and so we just gotta kind of play a different role, and maybe help out some younger kids, and but it sure is a different feeling. You know, we've been here 4 years, and you know, everybody else is gone when we look around that dressing room. I know my job is to score goals and to set them up and play the best I can at both ends of the rink, which is, it's a long season, it's 80-game schedule, so it's tough to play good every game, but I like to think I'm a consistent player, that a guy that can come down to the rink each night and be ready to play a hockey game. I just trying to, this year, is just keep a low profile and worry about my game, basically. Before I knew what was going on, I was minus 24, and Mike was minus 24, and that way, it was just something going wrong. You know, I'm trying to grow at each game, be even or plus, and that's the main thing, but some nights it doesn't work out that way, and it's a bad stat to start with, but unless you're a defenseman, and if you're got the bad minus like I do, I think you'd really worry about it. But I went to Bob Berry and I asked him, I said, am I really playing that bad defensively? Because it was really starting to bother me. I was out for a lot of goals. And he looked at the films and he came back to me and said, just keep doing your job. You know, he said, I'm picking up my man, coming back. And like I say, you know, it can't be your mistake, but you're on the ice for that goal, and that's a goal mark against you. And so it's a bad stat. I think the best thing you can do about plus minus is just not even look at the stat. It's you know, just don't even worry about it.
When Mike Bullard was injured, of course, he's the captain. I heard that you and Mo Mantha had a little thing going as to who was going to be captain.
Mo Mantha and I were kind of sharing it. We were kind of arguing each night who was going to be it, and he was trying to pass it on to me, and I was trying to pass it back to him, because the night he took over, we got swamped in somewhere in Washington or something. So he said I could have it from there on in, and I was kind of like saying, no, you go ahead, you keep it and all this, so it was different.
Whatever happened to Wild Bill?
Wild Bill, not as much. It was George Ferguson that made up the name, and he made up Bill, and then Matt Boutet marked on Wild Bill to it, so with the younger guys here, maybe they don't know much about it. A few guys still call me Bill, like Mike Bullard and Mo Mantha, and a few of those guys, but I think the young kids, maybe they're scared to call me that.
Well, Mike Bullard's did Mike Bossy. Nice luxury Al Arbor has moving center between these two and allowing Trontier to move into center another line. Didick and Dennis Potvin, the two defensemen. LaFontaine also a center iceman, so the Islanders are pretty strong down the middle of the ice, and it comes off the near side. To the right point, Didick shoots one in, and it's deflected just wide of the net. Hillier clears up on the right wing for Doug Shedden, and up now to Brian Maxwell. Lofted back into the Islanders' end. Rudy stops the puck. Around to the far side, and cleared back in behind the goal. Dennis Potvin, number 5 for the Islanders, to Mike Bossy. He'll leave it for John Tonelli. Left wing to Brent Sutter. Wristing one. That missed the net. It came off the glass. And Hillier taps it ahead to Bob Erie. Erie just up from Baltimore, the American Hockey League. The Bullard comes in, and he shot it just wide. Oh, Bullard with a nice little move there. Pulled the trigger, but he missed to the far side. Nice move by Mike Bullard. Puck lifted long into the Penguin zone. Off the boards, Brent Sutter. He sent it for Bossy. Came off his stick. Bullard runs Bossy into the wood. And Hillier of Pittsburgh around the boards for Bodger. We have Risling in the penalty box along with Deneen as they came back on for the second period. Those were major penalties. Off the wood, Lemieux trying to get it to McCarthy. Couldn't connect there. Bodger skates it into the Islanders' end. 2-0 New York leading. Drop pass for Lemieux. That missed. It comes between the circles, and Clark Gillies. Lead pass, and Bodger anticipated well. Back to intercept the play, and he'll go to defenseman Joe McDonnell. Gave it away to Clark Gillies. Gillies on the left wing. He fires one, and that's stopped by Heron, and he holds on. Well, you get those type of games, and I'm not saying picking on Joe McDonnell, and of course he's come up and done a pretty good job for the Pins, but he's in one of those streaks right now where every time he touches the puck he's a little hesitant and tentative, and the Islanders are trying to take full advantage of it, and it's tough. And you have games like that when you play. I don't care what sport it is. When you get your confidence down and things aren't going your way, you're almost afraid to touch the puck or the ball or whatever you might be doing.
I think, Mike, that confidence is a problem for the whole team right now. The Penguins seem to be hanging their heads a little bit, and they just haven't had that edge. And, you know, last time they went through a spell like this, Mike Bullard kind of let him out of it. He's still coming off that injury, but I'm sure that he'll get it back together here shortly.
You know, the Pens went winless in 9 earlier this year. They're winless in 7 right now. But to be honest about it, in this game, they're down just 2-0. So they're very much alive, really, in this game still, with a lot of time left. And off the stick of Lemieux, it bounces back into Islander territory. Stephon Pearson to Dwayne Sutter. Here's a mistake now. Lemieux has it. Comes in, got a man in front, and shot. Oh, what a stop by Pearson. Oh, boy, the Pins should have had a goal there. McCarthy couldn't direct it in quick enough. Now Dwayne Sutter back to center to Trontier. Trontier up ahead. It goes to Gillies, cutting right down the slot. He's taken off his skates by McDonnell. There'll be a penalty coming up against the Pens. And oh, how momentum has changed. Now the Penguins will be shorthanded. They came that close to scoring their first goal, and the Islanders come back and they get a power play. We'll break. 2-0 New York leading here at the Nassau County Coliseum. Power play for the NHL's best power play unit coming up. This is the Penguins Hockey Network. The penalty belongs to Joe McDonnell of Pittsburgh, a 2-minute minor for holding. The Islanders with the NHL's best power play, percentage-wise, 25.9%. And that is first. The Penguins are 16th in penalty killing. Left point, Penguins in. Paul Boudelier over to Potvin. It came outside the line. Potvin has to go back and set it up. Passing cross rink now to Boudelier, now to Potvin. Shabbat, a penalty killer, along with Loney. The Islanders misfire on a pass. It comes all the way to the Penguin net. Charlesworth off the boards, blasting the puck out, and that will kill some valuable time. The Islanders lead 2-0. Their first power play chance of the night. They'll make it the second. They had a brief amount, if I'm not mistaken, when they went back and forth on the penalties. Here's Potvin to the right wing to LaFontaine. LaFontaine cuts in behind Charlesworth. Walked in, but he couldn't go to the backhand. Off the boards, out in front, Loney. Clears to the near corner. Troy Loney of the Penguins. Around to John Shabbat, and he'll lay it off a stick and back down to the Islander line. Boudelier with 1:05 to go in the penalty. Boudelier and Potvin at the points, and the veteran Potvin over to the right side for Tonelli. The pass behind him. Lamoureux picks it off. Mitch Lamoureux steps in against Potvin. A shot deflected by Dennis Potvin. Rudy moves it over to Tonelli. And around the boards, Potvin again looks to lead it up. He'll go to Tonelli with some space. Left wing to Brent Sutter. McCarthy and Lamoureux, the penalty killers. Drop pass to Mike Bossy. Backpedaling. Almost like he walks on skates. Bossy to the right side of Dennis Potvin. Now to the center point. Right side, Bossy there. Looks the net over. Shoots it. And the stop is made by Heron. Sutter in the rebound. To the right point to Dennis Potvin. Potvin with that wrist shot. Blocked by Lamoureux, and Lamoureux is hurt. He is down. Lost his stick, too, but the shot by Potvin evidently caught Lamoureux. And Mitch gave his body up there. Pretty good play by Lamoureux. Tough job to do against the very powerful shooting Dennis Potvin.
Well, Dennis Potvin can't shoot that wrist shot very, very hard. Got one of the hardest wrist shots in the league. And Lamoureux coming out to block it.
We'll see what part of the body it hit. It might have. Yeah, I think it caught him right in the face. Might have caught him in the face there, the right side. And Lamoureux is down.
Mitch is one of 3 players on the Penguins team who are bothered by the flu here tonight. Warren Young and Rod Buskus also bothered by that. Or Warren Young and Doug Bodger, excuse me.
Well, Steve Thomas, the Penguins trainer, the all-star trainer for the Wells Conference, checking on Mitch Lamoureux. We'll get a further report if we can. And we have 16:04 to go in the period. Second period action. 2-0 Islanders will return here in a moment. This is the Penguins Hockey Network. And we've got an offside play here against the Islanders. With 11 seconds to go in the penalty to Joe McDonnell, the Islanders on top 2-0. And New York trying to add to its lead. Here's a look at Brent Sutter headed to the All-Star game on Tuesday.
Sutter
upended.
Yeah, found himself Randy Hillier's hip. Went flying.
Pearson joined by Thomas Janssen. And Janssen drills it long and deep into the Penguins' end. Loney tried to clear, could not. Pearson with 3 seconds to go in the penalty. Behind the net to John Tonelli. Centers and one right by Bossy. It comes to Janssen. McDonnell coming to get in the play. A long shot. Missed the net. And it comes off the boards to Tonelli. Right point, Pearson. And his shot. Missing with Sutter in front on the deflection try. Left point, Janssen. Again back along the boards. And Hillier will skate it out. He's hooked. Penalty coming up against Brent Sutter of New York. Penguins pull goaltender Denny Heron. They're trying to get the extra attacker on. But Rudy's going to stop the play. And the Penguins again will go to a power play opportunity here. And we'll take another timeout. It's 2-0 New York. Turkey will be on the table once again. See if the Penguins can do it. We'll return. This is the Penguins Hockey Network. Brent Sutter picks up a hooking call. 4:38 the time. Penguins on a power play and a chance now to get back within one. Lemieux on the right wing boards. Back to McDonnell. Fakes a shot. Lemieux has a chance now. Around the net to Buller, but the pass did not connect. Here's Young in the near corner. Young going back to Lemieux on the near side now. They back off of him. Lemieux has room. Young's in front of the net, so is Bullard. Lemieux still holds it. He gave it away. Caller has it. Caller lead pass. Trottier pulled down by Bodger, and there'll be a penalty against the Pens. Trottier, the veteran that he is, knew that if he got near Bodger and helped the play, he might draw a penalty, and he did just that. Boy, that's a smart hockey player. It's not so much that Bodger pulled him down, it's that Trottier knew that that might happen. Now watch the play here as it comes ahead to Trottier, and you'll see him kind of work his body into Bodger's too.
As soon as he felt that shaft around his body, too, you could see he did a little dive there. I mean, I don't think Doug was really pulling on him all that much with the stick, but he got himself right in that area where he thought Bodger might reach out and pull him down. Caller slid the puck up into the Penguins' end.
If you can get away with it, more power to you. And the good ones do. We're at equal strength again. 4 aside. And here is Maxwell of the Penguins. It's a funny game right now. It really hasn't had a whole lot to write home about, but the Penguins are still alive in it, down by just 2. The Islanders have had the better of the play. Here's Maxwell. Up on the right wing to Hillier. Hillier coming down against Rudy. Might have a chance here. Centers it back, and a good defensive play by Lane to give his body up. Bullard has it. Got a man over Maxwell. Bullard comes in, going to take the shot himself, and it's blocked by Potvin. Now Bullard again with a disc. Bullard wheels and deals on the near side to Maxwell. Back along the near boards to Bullard. He runs into Gordy Lane, and Potvin takes over. Potvin around the boards. Hillier able to steal. Behind the net to Bullard. Comes out. He can't shoot it. Loose in front. Lane knocks down Bob Erie, and the Islanders have it. Here they are, 3-on-2. Flatley. Erie chases to get back to make it 3-on-3. He finally does, and the Penguins intercept the pass. And they're able to take command of the puck. 30 seconds to go on the Brent Sutter penalty. Then the Islanders will go to a power play. And the Pens deal it up into the Islanders' end. They'll make a change here. Bullard hobbles off a little bit. He might have been hurt on that play in around the net. Here are the Islanders on the move. Stefan Pearsall dropping the puck to LaFontaine. To the blue line to Janssen. He trying to go back to LaFontaine. That will not connect. Janssen cross rink. And it's picked off by Todd Charlesworth. Charlesworth to Mario Lemieux. 3 men to beat. He'll go to the left wing to Doug Shedden. Trying to carry the mail in. Forgot the puck. And here's LaFontaine counterattacking. He gave it right to Lemieux, and the play sloppy right now. Both clubs giving the puck away. Busquets looked ahead, but he shot it up long into the Islanders' end. And back to get it will be Brent Sutter. The Islanders on a power play. The Penguins shorthanded. Here's Janssen cruising back. Weave his way into the Penguins' end. Tried a little drop pass, stopped by the Pens, and they take the heat out of a hot kitchen as they dump it up the length of the ice, and that should just about do it on Bodger's penalty. 5 seconds left. Brent Sutter moves it over to Stefan Pearson. To Tonelli. Bodger's on. The penalty has been killed. Tonelli shooting long. Heron's handcuffed a bit, but he made the save. Round to the near corner. Bossy. He centers. Came off a leg. In behind the Penguin goal. Hillier falls on top of the puck. And the face-off will be in Penguin territory. We have 12 minutes and 37 seconds left in period number 2. It's still the Islanders 2, the Penguins nothing. This is the Penguins hockey. Well, Steve Thomas out to do some work on Denny Herron. Herron, you can see the big, is that a bandage that he has there on the forehead? He's covered it up, and he might be bleeding from that eye. His left eye is swollen. About half shut coming into the game. You can see it starting to get black and blue. Right above that left eye in the forehead area. He took a gash that he's going to have a nice triangle on his forehead for memories from playing the game of hockey, because it was a pretty deep cut. And they stitched him up every which way. First we thought it was 10 to 12, and then they said it was over 30 stitches, and that is a lot of stitches. The old trooper, the Scarecrow, as I call him, going to be back in the net and ready to go.
While we look at the Penguin coach, we're going to ask you our trivia question, Equibank trivia. How many Penguin head coaches have a career 500 percentage? And that's with the Penguins.
Boudelier shoots one as we go back to play, and that is stopped by Herron. The net was knocked away. And Boudelier cutting across the ice. First player that really, I think, well, Bobby Orr would do it at times. It really kind of made that play kind of famous, coming from the point area across skating and shooting, was Borja Salmi of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and he had some wicked shots that he would let go, and it just kind of changed the game a little bit. We saw a lot of players come on, and when Randy Carlyle played in Pittsburgh when he first came there, He learned an awful lot from Borje Salming in the days when he first started in Toronto, and he was very adept at doing that. Moving with the puck and backpedaling and then firing his shot in the same motion. The European players have had that for years, that style of play. And back in behind the Penguin net, here's Maxwell. Lead a pass up to Mitch Lamoureux with 12:20 to go in the second period. 2-0 New York. Off into the right wing corner. Lamoureux's all right, so he's back in the play. Runs Boudelier into the corner. Now back behind the goal, Lamoureux. He and Nystrom colliding. And Nystrom comes out of a traffic jam around the near side. Couldn't get it out. Maxwell shoots one. That is blocked by his own man, Taylor. Behind the net to Lamoureux. Lamoureux earning his spurs here tonight. Wrestling in front of Taylor. A great save by Rudy as Taylor let a shot go. And Rudy stopping Mark Taylor from right in front. Now Bobby Nystrom handles the biscuit. He'll go to Dineen. Penguins almost scored there. Shot deep and long into the Penguins' end. Hillier back in the far corner. Number 34, Randy Hillier. Around the boards, not out. Potvin shoots one to the net. Heron caught that in the last second. Lane in front. What is he doing there? And is cleared away. Gordy Lane standing in front of the net. And it's dumped all the way to the Islanders zone. Potvin, Penguins in a line change. Up to Nystrom. Nystrom now, man cutting for the net. Gillies got the left man side open. It's Frontier, but he couldn't get the pass to him. Frontier behind the goal. Centered. And it is cleared up the doorstep by Mario Lemieux. Lemieux off the boards and back to the neutral zone. Gillies with the puck to the off wing. He takes a slap shot. And that's off Aaron's stick and up into the crowd. Well, 11:05 to go. A look at Denny Heron. The Islanders now out shooting Pittsburgh 20-16. And Kelly Rudy at the other end of the ice.
Well, as you said, Mike, there really hasn't been a lot of flow to this game until the last few seconds when the Islanders started to come at the Penguins a little bit. That's a great chance for Mark Taylor. He was set up from behind the net, and he was all alone in front, and Rudy made the save on him.
Blasted by the Islanders to Penguin ice, and off Gillies' stick it goes to McCarthy. Here are the Penguins back 3-on-3. Lemieux going right down the center of the ice. Now swing to the left. Got Young open, cutting for the goal, and he went in behind the net. Rudy had gone down. Centers it for Lemieux. He's there. A shot. That's blocked in front. Now Potvin. Right in behind the net. And around the left wing for Clark Gillies. Gillies a rink wide. Pass to Gerald Diddick. And Diddick finds it easier to go to the bench and dump it in here as the Islanders go to a change on the move. Dwayne Sutter going to the left wing corner for New York. Off the boards to Gilbert, and around the horn it goes. Dineen steps in. He keeps it alive. The Islanders sending some defensemen in deep now on plays in around the Penguin net. Behind the goal. Here's Sutter. He falls down. Play will go on. And Lemieux led it ahead off by McCarthy all the way down to the Islanders' end. And Dineen has to come back and take control of the puck. Checked by Warren Young. Young off the board. And back to center to Pat Flatley. Flatley in New York. Backhanded away behind the net. LaFontaine trying to center it. Hit Charlesworth of the Penguins. Lemieux comes up. He's turned around. Now Buskus took a whack at Flatley with his stick, and LaFontaine runs Buskus. Now Gilbert comes over. Gilbert says something to Rod Buskus. Buskus really took a whack at Pat Flatley as they battled in front of that net. He'll take another.
Rod Buskus was in. He got bumped by Flatley from behind. Just turned around and whacked him across the back with a blade of his stick. And
then that's a two-hander.
And then LaFontaine coming at Buskus to take exception to it.
All right, let's take a timeout. The Islanders lead 2-0 here in period number 2. This is the Penguins Hockey Network.
Buskus in the penalty box for slashing at 10-11. So the Islanders with a power play chance here.
NHL's #1 unit on the power play. Pearson, Penguins in with a 2-0 lead. Skates over to that center point area. Right side pass to John Tonelli. Back to Pearson. Finds Johnson to Pearson. Open. Slap shot. Save. Rebound. And the Penguins will come in to take it. And it'll be Troy Loney out with John Shabbat in a penalty killing role. Loney shoots one long. Rudy had trouble with it, but he made the stop. Gives it to Stefan Pearson to the right wing side to Tonelli. Tonelli stymied on the play a bit by Shabbat. Tonelli now. Relay it ahead to Brent Sutter. And on the right wing to Mike Bossy. Bossy steps in. Checked on the play. Sutter, though, trying to work it to the net. And from behind, he's checked by Shabbat, who turns and whistles the puck off the boards back to the Islander line. Thomas Janssen with 1:14 to go in the penalty to Buskus. Hillier would try and clear it. He does. And the Penguins right now doing a good job of killing this penalty. Here's a pass by Rudy, picked off by McCarthy. McCarthy shoots it towards the net. It's off the net. Rudy got a piece of it, and Johnson now takes command of it. Lamoureux and McCarthy, the penalty-killing team for Coach Bob Berry. And on the right wing, John Tonelli. Tonelli skating style, back from Bossi. Tonelli put it in front, had a man there, Brent Sutter. Aaron went down, he couldn't shoot it. Played up the stick of Maxwell to the right point to Potvin. 38 seconds to go in the penalty. Back behind the net for Tonelli. Swinging around far left wing corner for Mike Bossi. Bossi takes a shot. Left point, Boudelier. He cranks it up, save made. The rebound, Tonelli can't shoot it. Bossi does. Bossi scores. It is 3-0 New York.
Great play by John Tonelli there, Mike, because he had fallen down and yet maintained some concentration on the puck. You could just see the Penguins relax a little bit when Tonelli went down because they thought there was no way he'd be able to do anything with the puck, but Mike Bossi just kept heading to the net, and Tonelli moved it over to him. Look at that pass to Bossi, and he just tapped it in behind Denny Aaron.
What a great goal by Bossi again.
Tonelli lost his balance a little bit, but still managed to move the puck over to Bossi. See him, he was on one skate, and Bossi was smart enough to keep going to the net, and Tonelli put it right on the tape, and he put it in behind Denny Aaron.
I think he knocked that out of midair. Great hand-eye coordination of Mike Bossi. I think the puck was off the ice when he knocked that puck in. Boudelier an assist along with John Tonelli, and it is 3-0 New York now. Power play goal as the Islanders convert. Now Diddick looked ahead. Bodger got a piece of the puck, gave it right back to the Islanders, and they came off the boards to center ice. Bodger back into the Islanders zone. Rudy working on his second consecutive shutout game here against the Pens. Pushed it back to the Penguin line. McDonnell losing it, and we have an offside call here against the Islanders. Again, recapping, Bossi is 45th from John Tonelli and Paul Boudelier. I'd love to see that one again. We didn't get a chance to get the second look at it, whether or not he got it out of midair. But Bossi just so great with the stick. And he beats Denny Aaron. He's going for a back-to-back hat tricks. He had one against the Rangers in a 7-5 win on Thursday. Trying to overtake Mr. Gretzky in the all-time NHL leadership in hat tricks. Career-wise, both men now with 33. Back to center it goes to Mike Bullard. Bullard down. He got the shot goal that was deflected off into the near corner. And he'll jam it there. I thought it was interesting. Not too long ago, Gretzky was talking about the hat trick record, and when he said it against the Penguins. And if Bossi does it, he'll probably do it against the Pens here tonight if he should score another one. But he was talking about it. It's great for hockey. He said we've got both of us have a few years to go, and he said it's going to be like Nolan Ryan and Steve Carlton. Every day you're going to read in the paper. Did Gretzky get one? Did Bossi get one? Who's got the most strikeouts? Buffalo leading Calgary 1-0 in the first period. Edmonton and Detroit now tied at 3 in the second. The Rangers were losing 1-0 to Hartford. We're back to play here in an Islander 3-0 lead. Greg Gilbert. Into the Penguins end. And on the near boards, Charlesworth knocked it off the sideboards. Back to center. He couldn't get it to McCarthy. Lemieux directed it up into the Penguin box area. We're going to take a timeout. 7:04 to go in the period. 3-0 New York. This is. And from center ice, Mario Lemieux looked ahead for McCarthy. And a delayed offside here against the Pens. A bit of a late whistle. Goals tonight, 2 by Bossi for the Islanders and 1 by Trottier.
You want to try to answer that trivia question?
Yeah, I think I know the answer to that one. And that was back in 1974, 75, 75, 76. Mark Boileau was the coach then. I think he's the only coach that ever had a winning record here.
That's all right. 66 wins, 61 losses, 24 ties.
That was the famous year for the Pens. And memories from this building.
Yep.
That they were in the playoffs against the Islanders and had a 3-0 lead and lost in 7.
.517 winning percentage.
Now, who did the Islanders go on to play in the next series?
Flyers.
That's right. And how many games did they go?
7, I believe.
And the Islanders were down 3-0 in that series, came back to tie it, and then lost it in the 7th game. And from that point on, the rest is history, what they have done. The Islanders. It is Lemieux. And Philadelphia, by the way, won the cup that year. Here's Lemieux to the right side. Over to Busquets. He'll direct it up into the Islanders' end. Rudy will stop it. Behind the net for Deneen. And off the boards, it will go to Janssen. Back up ahead to center. Now Gilbert gets a handle on it. Greg Gilbert, number 17, with 6 minutes to go in the second period. His long blast denied by Heron. Hillier back to take it to the right of the net and finds number 24, Roger Belanger. Up to Mario Lemieux. Giving the puck to Young. His next goal will be number 30 on the air. Now the Hillier breaks in deep. And his wrist shot partially blocked by Boudelier. Boudelier back to get the puck. And around the left side for John Tonelli. The Islanders just kind of moving along here in workmanlike fashion. And we get a 2-line pass call against the Islanders. When they start to grind it and work like they are right now, it's just kind of systematic, and they just kind of wear you down slowly but surely. And the next thing you know, you look at the scoreboard, you don't have anything really much to show for it, and they've walked away with a win. It's been the history of this club, the way they've played. And as I said, they seem to get stronger in the second half of the season, especially the last 20 games, when they get themselves geared for the playoffs.
You know, and they've gone so long without all of their players. This is the most, I think, of we've seen all their players that you're used to seeing in their lineup in the lineup. And Ken Morrow's going to be coming back soon. He's a great one. They've missed him a lot.
And Heron will move the puck around. Bossy with it. Bossy centering, goes to Boudelier. And his wrist shot missed. Bossy in front, trying to stuff it by Heron. Denny Heron will not let him do it for the hat trick on that move. And again, that quick hand-eye coordination of Mike Bossy almost got him goal number 3. So quick in moving the puck around. And all he needs is a second to do it. Take a look at this.
Boudelier sailed it up over Denny Heron. It came off the boards, and Bossy pounced on it, tried to stuff it in, and it was cleared out of there on the doorstep by John Shabbat. Bossy tried to hammer at it again, and Denny Heron's legs were in the net and able to just block off that side, the short side at the post.
I think what a lot of people realize, you take a lot of punishment, too, when you work around the net like that. There are some people, some big boys, that put the body into you, and Bossy doesn't say too much. And Pearson now giving the puck to Bossy. Back it comes. I'll tell you a story about last week's game, too. When the Bossy shot a puck from about 45 feet. Here he is again down the right side, coming back into the pen's end. And checked away. Comes to Bodger. Bodger now shoots it long and into the right wing corner it goes. Shabbat rambles over. He'll try and keep it alive. Along the far side it comes to Loney. 3-0 the Islanders lead. His shot off the glass behind goaltender Kelly Rudy. Now Shabbat takes the puck, but he lost it to Brent Sutter. Here are the Islanders 3-on-2. Tonelli to the right wing, trying to go to Bossy. Bodger, a good play to break up the pass. Loney turns it over to Belanger, and he golfs one, a 9-iron shot. That could have been up, not quite upper deck. All right, 4:36 to go in the second period. The Islanders lead 3-0 here. And we'll return right here on the Penguins Hockey. This face-off, Mike Bullard over to Busquets, and he'll shoot it to the net. Rudy makes the stop, and Potvin wheels it around the right wing. Back down to the Penguin end of the rink, and Busquets now. Wrap it around the boards for Doug Shedd. Off his stick and back to center. Gerald Diddick, the young rookie defenseman for the Islanders. Paired out here with Dennis Potvin. And up to the left wing, it comes to Dwayne Sutter. Rink wide for Trottier. Trottier moves in. A backhand shot. He's trying to go to the short side on Heron and hit the side of the net. Down on his stomach is Gillies. Gillies tried to make the play back behind the goal, but Busquets able to clear it away. Bob Erie of Pittsburgh. Little drop pass back to Bullard. Instead it went to Dennis Potvin. And here are the Islanders. Dwayne Sutter. He cranked one up and let it go, and Busquets deflected that. That is an upper decker here at the Nassau County Coliseum. I want to get back and finish the story on Bossy. Last week in Pittsburgh, he had a shot from about 40 feet away, the top of the circle. And I mean, he just stood there and got all of his slap shot and wound up the stick way up in the air. It hit Roberto Romano in the shoulder, if you remember the play, those of you who were there. And he made the stop and knocked him down. He was out for some time. Steve Thomas, the trainer, came out and checked on him. And somebody went over and said to Bossy, hey, what's the matter with you? I mean, you shoot the guy or hit him in the shoulder with a hard shot. You didn't even go over and see how he was. He said, he gets paid to stop the puck.
That's about it, too. They even say that in practice. And goaltenders hate it in practice when players shoot high on them. Players have a pretty callous attitude towards that. That's the position you chose, then you shall stop the rubber.
Here is Lemieux now, feeding the puck back into Islander ice. And Rudy around the left wing. But Gilbert, he could not get it out. In the near corner, Deneen took a bump from McCarthy on a good solid check. Now Lemieux Trying to get around LaFontaine. And the Islanders flatly unable to clear. McCarthy working hard against Johnson. And finally comes over to help out. Lemieux back in behind. Steals the puck. Centered it, but Dineen is there. Dineen shoots it away and back to center ice. LaFontaine. And it's going to be called back on a two-line pass. Pretty good work by this line now. Lemieux, Young, and Kevin McCarthy. McCarthy has played both right wing and defense for the Penguins this year with the injury to Babbage. He's been called upon by Bob Berry to do that duty.
Classic example of what reach can do for you. Mario Lemieux losing the puck, but he just reaches out and he can cover about 10 feet once he leans forward and tries to grab for that puck. And he was able to keep it alive in the Islanders' end.
Well, they're not telling jokes on the Penguin bench, as you could see. Trying to get things going here. They're down 3-0. With a sullen there, and Dineen with 3 minutes to go in period number 2. Off on the right wing to Bossy, and up to Brent Sutter. To the left wing to John Tonelli. Tonelli blasting. That was why. Bossy has it. Shooter to the net. Blocked in front. Look out. It's loose. Sutter trying to overpower here, and he's in the crease right now, and play is stopped as Don Koharski, the referee, lost sight of the puck. The Islanders are doing what they have done for many, many years, and we mentioned it a little bit earlier, and that is just wear you down with a workmanlike attitude and type of game.
Well, Denny got himself into trouble there going down on what was not a very hard shot, and the rebound popped loose, and Sutter, who was always around that net, came around and almost stuffed it in on him. Here's a look at Denny Herron.
Well, why would they must have had a trivia question on the board. They put Glenn Sather's name up on the board, and they booed here.
No, it's not
must have been a trivia question. We missed it. We didn't get in on the.
What coach beat the Islanders in the finals of the Stanley Cup playoff last year? That brings a boo right away.
Brent Sutter working here against Mitch Lamoureux. Lamoureux on with Riesling to Mark Taylor. And Bossy on the near wing. To the right point to Pearson. Bumped by Riesling. Penguins spin it back to center ice. And Boudelier now off the boards and back down to the Penguins near corner. Bodger checked neatly by Brent Sutter. Sutter to Bossy. Looking for some room. Lamoureux steps into him. Bossy one-arms the pass over to John Tonelli. Back in front to Bossy. Look out. Got a man open, Brent Sutter, but he can't get it to him. Now he'll try again, and Sutter just missed. Tonelli has it. He shoots one, and that one wide. Aaron's going to take no chance at all and hold on. Brent Sutter and Mitch Lamoureux get the sticks up now. Bossy comes to join the parade. Denny Herron is down on his backside, and he is in some pain. I don't know if somebody stepped on him trying to get back into the action. McDonnell now, and Brent Sutter push and shove. Now Herron is down in a sitting position.
Like that left leg again. Got that left leg hurt here in the island back in, I guess it was November.
And let's see what happened here if we can after the play. I think somebody might have stepped on Denny Herron and gone right over him after it was all done. This is when they get back up. Herron appeared to be in pain there. Now I think he might be right there. He might have done it going down.
Twisted his knee again, his left knee. He's had some trouble with that left knee this year. Trying to get up. You remember earlier in the season, he started a game and he got hurt and he was hobbling like crazy, playing on one leg out there. And finally, they pulled him out of the game, and Michel Dion came on and replaced him with that same left leg. Mike, gives me an opportunity to talk about, Bob Berry is breaking this season up into 10-game segments. And in the first 10 games, the Penguins did very well back in October. In the second 10 games, they did not do very well at all in November. That was when they went on that 9-game winless streak. And in their third 10-game segment, they did very well. That was during the month of December when they won a couple of big games over the Christmas holiday season and played very well. And now in this next 10-game segment, there's a look at Roberto Romano wondering if he's going to replace Denny Herron here. And in the most recent 10-game segment, they went 1-8-1. They're starting another one here tonight. So they've had good ones, bad ones. It's just been alternating. Let's see if maybe this next one can be a good one again. See if they can snap out of it. The last time they were embarrassed by the Capitals 9-2, came back, responded. Mike Bullard scored 4 goals against the St. Louis Blues, and from then on they went 5 games without a loss.
Lamoureux of the Penguins, Brent Sutter of the Islanders. 2 minutes each for roughing. They'll play shorthanded on the ice right now, both shorthanded by a man, and again they'll stack it up along the near side in Penguin ice. Now Herron back up and ready to play. There's a look at the rookie defenseman Gerald Diddick.
Diddick was taken 16th overall a couple years ago, 83 draft.
Charlesworth of the Pens being pressured by Anders Kaller. Trottier and Kaller working up front now. And Trottier in the corner, turning those hips, trying to work the puck free, and he can't quite do it. And here comes John Shabbat. Shabbat push it ahead. Deep into the Islanders zone, along the near board. Back after the puck is John Shabbat. Pass right side to Busquets. Slow it down, tap it behind the goal. Diddick is hit by Troy Loney. Loney has lost his stick. And it'll be Shabbat coming to the near side. Trottier's in on him. The Islanders have it. Here's Diddick. A minute 29 to go in the period. Diddick just snaps the puck into the Penguins' end. Lets it fall along the far boards, and the Islanders go to a change here. Shabbat, a little drop pass. Coming to Todd Charlesworth. Skates around flatly with a nice move. Into the Islanders' end. 3-0 New York leading. Charlesworth pulled down by Janssen. There'll be a penalty against the Islanders. And Janssen takes a penalty there, and the Penguins again have a power play chance here with a minute and 11 seconds to go in period number 2.
Play by Charlesworth. You don't see him rush the puck very often, but he can carry the puck pretty well. I'm sure he did that a lot more in junior, but when you come up to the NHL, you're prone to think a little bit more defensively. Charlesworth put his head down like a running back going through the line, and Janssen reached out and pulled him down. 18:49 the time for holding the call. Thomas Janssen, who's been out with a shoulder separation, now back in the lineup. I think this might be one of his first games back, if not his first game back. He's an important guy in that Islander defense, moves the puck very well.
Well, it'll be a 4-on-3 advantage right now for the Pens. 55 seconds to go in the penalty. Penalties to Lamoureux and Brent Sutter. Janssen picks up the holding call. And Potvin with it. And he'll play it out. Penguins have yet to score a goal in this game. And they've had a number of chances in the power play. A minute to go in the period, and here's Mario Lemieux behind his own net. Right up the alley now. To the right wing. Off the stick of Hillier. Coming to an Islander. And Potvin spins it back, and look out because Trottier's back in. Aaron's going to have to get to the puck first. Then he plays it by Trottier. And around the near wing for Mike Bullard. Penguins just don't have any spark right now. They just seem so... they just don't have much going for them. Here's Bullard now. Coming back to the right wing of the Islanders here. Stopping. Pass. Deflected back into the near corner. Lemieux behind the net to Shed. Gave it away to Trottier. Trottier shorthanded 2-on-1. Trottier right side. Got a man there. Potvin. The puck hopped over his stick. It was a bouncing puck. I think Hillier might get a piece of that pass by Trottier. 10 seconds to go. Penalty against Hillier for knocking down one of the Islanders in the corner. Is Dennis Potvin. And that's going to even things up with just 9 seconds to go.
And holding is going to be the call on Randy Hillier.
Yeah, the Islanders failed to convert on the 2-on-1. You'll take a look at it. Now this is the penalty. We did not get back far enough to see the play.
Well, you're doing a little question on that. No, put him in a bear hug.
Time of the penalty is 1951.
1951.
I'll tell you, Koharski's called a good game tonight. Referee Don Koharski took his lumps in the early part of his career as a referee. Used to be a linesman. And I think he's come on and done a pretty good job wearing the red armband. 3-0 the Islanders leading here with just 9 seconds to go in the second period. And here it comes to Pearson from the face-off, and his slap shot denied by Heron. Pearson again with 3 seconds to go. Into the corner, and time runs out. So that's it, the end of period number 2. The Islanders have the only goal, and they lead now through 40 minutes of hockey. The scoreboard reads, the Islanders 3. The Penguins nothing. Back in a moment right here on the Penguins Hockey Network. The Islanders have had 3 power play chances. They've had but 1 shot, and that was a goal by Mike Bossy. Both clubs are shorthanded by a man to begin period number 3. The Islanders on top 3-0. Deneen to Gillies. Gillies up into the Penguins' end. And now shoots it off Joe McDonnell. Trottier comes over. Trottier could not make a play, and it comes outside. Back to McDonnell. McDonnell fires way wide of the net. And Lemieux hustles back into his own end. Hit by Trottier, and Trottier has the puck. Passing left point to Potvin. Now to Gillies. Mark Gillies, good pass to Neen's open. His wrist shot went right over Heron's head. And it comes to the near board. Lemieux runs into Gillies. Puck lifted back behind the Penguin net. Joe McDonnell swings it out to Lemieux. Now the penalty over to the Islanders, Thomas Johnson. So the Islanders now with a power play for a full minute. As the penalty to Hillier is still in effect. Buskus finds the opening, aware of that, and will drop at the length of the ice. Potvin to the left wing for Brent Sutter. Lost it to John Shabbat. Shabbat push it back to Rod Buskus. And again, he'll take the heat out of a hot kitchen here as Rudy comes over to stop the puck and leave it for Janssen. Looked ahead for John Tonelli. Now to Bossy. Drop pass. A good one to Janssen. His shot. And Heron makes that save. The Islanders love to swing wide and drop that puck back into the slot area. It'll be Bossy along the goal line coming out. Still controlling. Shabbat trying to shut him down. Bossy trying to one-arm it now. Brings it around the net. Buskus clears, but not out. Potvin will hold it in. Left side to Janssen. 3 seconds on the penalty to the Pens. Hillier's ready to come on. Buskus played it around the boards. Brent Sutter is in digging. Hillier is on, and the penalty is over. Brent Sutter, right side, Tonelli, slap shot, save made, the rebound, and Bossy can't crank it in. Brent Sutter with a drop pass to John Tonelli. Down to Potvin, that heavy shot, and he hit the pipe to the left of Denny Heron. And off the boards it goes back to center. All New York here early in period number 3, and they lead 3-0. Janssen shoots one. That's blocked by Charlesworth. He got his blade down. And the young defenseman avoiding Greg Gilbert. Up the left wing to Bob Erie. A pass behind the Pens Mike Bullard, but an offside call against the Islanders. Well, Erie giving that puck away, and the Islanders that close to walking in alone in an effort to maybe get a 2-on-1 break. You've got to be careful where you duck off those passes up too, because especially at your own blue line, danger is right around the corner if you lose possession of it.
Hey, I'm really surprised to see Pat LaFontaine even back already, because he had mononucleosis and usually knocks you for a loop for a long time, but LaFontaine came back pretty quickly off of that.
Hillier lost possession. Flatley now up on the right wing. Maxwell going for it. Penguins trying to break the shutout jinx here. Rudy shut him out last Saturday night. And he's working on a 3-0 blanking right now. Flatley back into the near corner of his own end. Looked ahead. It came off Hillier, and he put it back into the zone. Delayed offside. Waved off now as the Islanders clear. LaFontaine. And his drop pass. That was not a good pass. And Bob Erie trying to clear the puck out. It comes around the near side. Put into the neutral ice area. The Penguins again here with a delayed offside coming up against the Islanders. That is waved off as the Islanders now carry it right back in. Flatley to the near board. Got it towards the net. It hit Taylor's stick coming to Maxwell. And around to the left wing side. Bob Erie kicks at it. He will give it to Randy Hillier. And Hillier, a lead pass from Mike Bullard. 1-on-5. Drop pass to McCarthy. Shoots and scores. Kevin McCarthy snaps one by Kelly Rudy. And the Penguins are on the board. Oh, hallelujah, Hollywood. McCarthy just snapped that puck from 45 to 50 feet and beat Kelly Rudy. And the Penguins get on the board to make it a 3-1 game. Boy, was that a crazy goal there. Bullard was 1-on-5 coming down. McCarthy was late joining the play, but he got the pass.
It was a weird goal. He just kind of pushed it to the net, and Rudy really was caught by surprise. It bounced past him into the goal.
I don't know if he was screened on the play or what. In there. I said he's cooled down, Denny.
Well, those Sutters, I'll tell you what, they spend half their life in the goal crease. Daryl Sutter is the one that you really think of being in there all the time. Denny Heron had a battle going with him, but all the Sutters like to do that. Ronnie Sutter does it. Every single Sutter does it, actually. You know, they were all on the Today Show this past week. Brian Gumbel had them on. The 6 Sutter brothers were all on. A couple of them in New York, one in Chicago. They had them all hooked up somehow, and Brian Gumbel had a chance to talk to all of them. I talked to Brent Sutter last week and asked him, you know, I said, people say that you have the most talent of all of them, and he really didn't like that question. He doesn't like to be compared to his brothers, and I think Brian Gumbel spent about half the interview comparing them, and I was just thinking about what might have been going through their heads when he was asking those questions. They're very competitive, of course, all the Sutters, and I'm sure they got in a lot of fights when they were young.
Well, I'm not sure what the penalty was for. Dwayne Sutter picked it up. Slashing call is the minor against Dwayne Sutter. Penguins have their 7th power play chance. They are down right now 3-1, and they've got an opportunity to get back into this game. Bossy, though, short-handed. Bossy on the right wing boards. Got Potvin in the slot. You can't get him to him. Bodger working around to the near side. Mike Bullard is hit by Brent Sutter on a good solid check. And the Penguins can't get out of their own end right now with 1:35 to go. In the penalty to Dwayne Sutter. Now Bodger leads it up. Up on the right wing, intended for McDonnell. It's going to be an icing call if the Islanders get there first. And they'll bring it back into the Penguins' end. Those are the type of plays that those coaches' hairs turn gray in a hurry. In a hurry.
Well, the Penguins have a great chance here to get back into the game, Mike. Dwayne Sutter having slashed Denny Herron at 4:18. Pens, as we said, have not done well on the power play here tonight. 4 shots out of 6 tries. But if they were ever going to get one, it should be right now. They get themselves right back into the hockey game. It's been a strange game, and sometimes strange things happen right down to the end.
A lot of time left, 15:05. The Islanders had things pretty much their own way. They really haven't been able to overpower the Penguins and storm by them with a big goal output. They've been just workmanlike, and they've kind of gone through the motions of an Islander team. And here's Lemieux now, carrying the mail up. He'll pass to Joe McDonnell. Got a man open young at the blue line. Couldn't get it to him. It goes through, and Dineen will take over. A minute to go in the penalty. Off the boards, Bodger. Good play to keep it in. Now to Lemieux. Mario working with that puck. Snap it over to Shed. Shed to Lemieux. Now back to Bodger. Bodger blue line. Firing, deflected by Young, and it went wide. Shedden picks it up. Lemieux's in front. He's there. A shot. The save is made. The rebound. It comes out. McDonnell races in. He'll put it in the corner. Played off the boards. Around it comes to John Tonelli. A rink-wide pass. Dineen should have an easy time carrying this one up, and he will bring it back to center. Now to the Penguins end. Drop pass. Trottier trying to get around McDonnell. And McDonnell brings him in behind the net. Trottier killed some time, and here now with 24 seconds to go in the penalty is Warren Young. Young trying to beat Tonelli. Maxwell looking for Shedden. Broken up by the Islanders. And where'd that one go? Up in the Islander bench area. As they whack that. And we'll get a face-off just inside the New York blue line. Well, Lemieux had an opportunity in front. The Finns could not get to the rebound attempt. A 3-1 game with the Islanders leading. And 15 seconds to go in the penalty to Dwayne Sutter.
The Islanders don't seem to be as intent in clearing people out from in front of the net as they do and just staying at home, playing their position and clearing the rebounds. They've done a great job of that here tonight. The Penguins have had very few second and third cracks at Kelly Rudy.
Now this penalty is just about over. Randy Hillier with 8 seconds to go. To the left wing to Mark Taylor. Shabbat, Taylor, and Bullard on the front line. And they're going to put Maxwell and Hillier out as point men. Not too much time to go in the penalty. Going to the 2 defensemen. The penalty is over now, and the Islanders have killed another one. Flatley cruising back into the Pens' end. Denied by Hillier, but here's LaFontaine. To Flatley, trying to pass up to the blue line to Pearson. And it went beyond his reach. Pearson back to his own zone to take command of it. To Janssen. And the Islanders 2 defensemen. Third to the blue line, and out it comes, and the Penguins force it back in. We have an offside play against the Pens. We'll take a timeout right now. It is the Islanders 3, the Penguins 1. This is the Penguins Hockey Network. In the third period here, 3-1 the Islanders leading. And it is moved ahead to center to LaFontaine. Back to Gilbert. To LaFontaine. Gilbert trying to cut to the slot. The pass behind him. Lamoureux taps it off the boards, and away it goes to the neutral zone. Step on Pearson. To LaFontaine, the Islanders' #1 draft choice. Played in the Quebec Junior Hockey League. And, of course, did play against Mario Lemieux. At center, Flatley. Ahead to LaFontaine. Trying to beat Charlesworth. With some great moves is LaFontaine. Charlesworth cut him off with the pass. Lamoureux takes over. Lamoureux feeds it ahead to Belanger. He shoots one right on the net, but Rudy makes the save with a glove to Flatley, and he systematically just plays it off the boards and back through to center. Now driven back into the Islanders in with 12:15 to go in the third period. 3-1 New York. Brent Sutter. He cut in, hit by Bodger. The puck rolls to the net, and Herron comes diving out to grab the loose puck and hold on to it. There's a look at Denny Herron. The Islanders have tapped him for 3 tonight. Bossy with a pair, Trottier with 1. Big goal by Trottier, the shorthanded goal right now. If the game stood up like this, it would be the game-winning goal. McCarthy, the lone goal getter for the Penguins, scoring early in period number 3 here. Here's Diddick from the face-off. His shot. That was blocked. Sutter took a whack at it, couldn't find it. And around the boards it goes to Kevin McCarthy. McCarthy into the Islanders' end. Drop pass comes back to Lemieux. What a quick shot and a save made by Rudy off his blocking glove. And Lemieux got all of his left shot there. And the face-off will be in New York ice for the right of Kelly Rudy. Red Wings lead Edmonton 5-3 in the second period.
What a great save by Kelly Rudy there. Just a classic stand-up goaltender save. He just hung in, did the splits, got the stick glove up, and just deflected it up over the glass. And Lemieux got all of it. He can really fire the puck when he leans into that slap shot. And he fired that when it was heading for the upper left-hand corner, and Rudy did the splits and made the save.
They're in the third period now at Calgary. Buffalo leading there 2-0. And St. Louis jumps on top of Minnesota 1-0 first period. Here it's 3-1 New York, and they win the draw. And here's Bossy looking for the HT again. For the left wing to Tonelli. Tonelli back trying to go to Brent Sutter, and it's cleared away by the pins. Up by Janssen's outstretched glove, and it comes outside the line. Lemieux and Janssen tie each other up, and we'll get a face-off here on the near side boards. We'll take a timeout from the Nassau County Coliseum. We look at the scoreboard. It says the Islanders 3, the Penguins 1. This is the Penguins hockey. Look at Doug Shedden, who has set a personal high for himself for the most goals scored in a year. He now has, on the season, 27. Look at the respective benches. Al Arbor behind his troops. Maxwell drilled off a leg. It comes to Hillier. Shedden's offside, so he has to try and wait for him to get back on, and he does. And it is lifted back into the Islanders' end. Loney with a good check. Here's Shedden with a steal. Shedden, the ball in front. His shot. Save made. Rebound. Did it go in or not? No. Rudy stops it. Kelly Rudy stopping the pins right in front of the net. Best flurry of the pins there in the period number 3, trying to get back into the game. And Shedden had it and helped set it up, but Bullard could not beat Kelly Rudy.
The man who they made that play was Troy Loney, because he hit the guy without the puck, and he let Shedden pick up the puck. Shedden got it, threw it across to Bullard. Big save. Rudy got the rebound on another shot by Bullard. And Kelly Rudy making 2 big saves on Mike Bullard. Bullard there trying to chip it up and out, and it was Gord Dineen who came in. Boy, those defensemen really like to come in behind their goaltender and help out. That's twice tonight that we've seen Islander defensemen make big saves on the Penguins.
Trottier, number 19, avoiding Bullard. Got some room into the Penguin zone. Trottier goes down, put it in front of the deflection, goes in. Trottier had room to work with coming down. He went wide. We'll have to wait and see who that came off of.
I think it went off of the Penguin defenseman Randy Hillier, but I may be wrong. Let's see. Trottier coming down the left side, just ragging the puck. Hillier was watching him, and
no, I think it hit Denny Herron and went in. We'll have to try and maybe get a different angle at it if we're lucky. 9:15 the time of the goal, unless
there's a close-up look at it. Trottier throwing it across.
Yeah,
it's hard to tell. Thought maybe it was Brian Maxwell who
somebody had Herron all tied up in the net.
Because it was one of the Sutter.
Dwayne Sutter in there. Now let's wait and see who the goal goes to. Trottier fired it. Here it comes now to the open man LaFontaine, and he shoots one wide. Boudelier along the near board. Laid it down. He'll get it back at the left point. Now to the left wing corner. It'll be Trottier getting the goal. Crowdsworth around. Trying to clear. Pearson has it. 4-1 New York. And it came off the boards. Unassisted goal for Trottier. Back into the Islanders' end. And Boudelier moved it away. LaFontaine on a 3-on-2 break. To the left wing to Gilbert again. Moving to the near side. He dropped it back for LaFontaine. It went beyond his reach. And it's going to be called back here on a 2-line pass against the Penguins. Again, Trottier, his 25th and second of the night. Unassisted goal, 9:15. 4-1 the Islanders lead. We'll be back right here at the Nassau County Coliseum. This is the Penguins 4-1. 9:45 left here in the third period. And Mario Lemieux. Now the Pens got within 2, but the Islanders now have opened it up again. It'll be Lemieux trying to make a play into the Islanders zone. Unable to do so. Joe McDonnell. Penguin defenseman hit on the play by Brent Sutter. And Lemieux again takes possession. Line pass back, and the Pens have to go back. And not a good pass by Mario there. Comes off the boards. Bodger out of the corner. It comes to Nelly trying to get a shot off. Can't. Diddick has it. Now he tried to pass to Brent Sutter, and it's picked off by McCarthy. Here it comes to Bodger. Doug Bodger with the Pens. Going to break in deep. Go back to McCarthy. A shot. He just missed the net on the far side. Now Lemieux holds it in left wing board. Lemieux dances away from Tonelli. Lemieux centers. Hit Potvin skates. He'll settle it. Look to get it out, and he does easily on the backhand. Flip it away back into the Penguin zone. And here's Bossy racing back, the first man back. Bodger got the stick out in front to knock it away from him. Around the near boards, Bossy again all over the ice right now. Bossy with it, shooting. Deflected, comes to Tonelli. His backhand shot blocked. Bodger and Tonelli both go down. Tonelli gets back up. Around to the right point, a pass to Deneen. Into the net area. Trottier going for it. Look at this line work now. Tonelli, Bossy, and Trottier. Tonelli to Bossy. With it, and his pass picked off by Shedden. Shedden, Erie, and Bullard. Shedden to the left wing for Bob Erie. Erie's pass. Not there, and here's Tonelli going the other way. He lost possession. Back into the Penguins in with 8:14 to go in the third period. The New York Islanders lead here 4-1. Randy Hillier of Pittsburgh gave it away to Dwayne Sutter. Look out, Trottier's open on the right wing. Brought it in, and it'll be an offside play. Trottier ahead on the right side. There's a look at Dwayne Sutter. Not the goal scorer, their brother Brent is, but serves a purpose here in New York. Working very hard. Pretty good checker, and they're using him out here now. Working here on the right wing with Brian Trottier at center ice. And Clark Gillies. Boy, it seems so strange the last time the Islanders were in to see Gillies in a helmet. We had not seen the Islanders for a while.
Yeah, he doesn't even look like the same person when he has that helmet on.
Nope. Yeah, and yet I would think that if some players took the helmet off after the new rule's been in effect for so long, it would be strange that way too. But it does seem awfully strange to see Gillies wearing a helmet. Around the right side in the Penguin zone. Dwayne Sutter into the corner. And off the wood it goes. Back down to center ice. The Islanders just cruising along right now with a 4-1 lead, trying to win their fourth in a row. Johnson to the knee. Lead pass, got a man open, but he couldn't get it through to Dwayne Sutter. And we have an offside call against the Penguins. 7 minutes and 32 seconds to go in period number 3. The Islanders lead by 3. We'll be back. This is the Penguins Hockey Network. And Shabbat winning. Risling and Belanger worked the wings for him. On a new line out now. Shabbat into Islander ice, and he shoots one to the net. Rudy's going to stop it. Pass it over to the knee. The Islanders by 3. And just a little bit over 7 minutes to go now in regulation time. LaFontaine trying to avoid Charlesworth. Does. Comes down the slot. Put it between the circles, and Risling is there to break up that attack. Back to Belanger. To the left wing to Shabbat. Belanger, a Penn's #1 draft choice this past summer. Shabbat couldn't get it back to him or shoot the puck, and now the Islanders have it again. With possession, LaFontaine. Worked it up into the Penguins' left wing corner. Charlesworth sandwiched by 2 of the Islanders. Got the puck around, though, to Risling. And number 15, Gary Risling. Put it up ahead to Belanger. Deflected it up into the Islanders' near corner, and the Penguins go to a line change. Time is ticking down now here in the third period. Boudelier beating Brent Sutter. Got a man over Bossy. Trying to go to him. Bossy goes back to get it, and he shoots the puck, and it went wide. Bossy had to stop, turn around, and come back and get the puck skating, and still got the shot off. Here's Young into the right side of the Penguins end for Mario Lemieux. Lemieux shoot it towards the goal. It hit a leg and went wide. In the left wing corner, Boudelier, as Young was taken out of the play by Mike Bossy. He's working his own end of the ice now. And he's had a big game as Mike Bossy, as has Brian Trottier. We'll get a stop in the action. Now, when you see that type of play, when you see Bossy down with an opportunity to score a goal, and the next thing you look up and see him back in his own end in the corner, that's just a great two-way effort by a player. And there's a look at Brent Sutter coming off here. He's headed to the All-Star game on Tuesday night in Calgary.
You know, the way that last goal by the Islanders was scored, it's just indicative of the way things have been going for the Penguins. Mike Bullard with 2 great chances at the one end, and they came right up and scored on kind of a strange goal by Brian Trottier to make it 4-1.
Hillier around the boards for Bob Erie. And Nick Pence can't get it out. Trottier alone behind the net. Trottier in front, got a man there. Gillies, and a shot denied by Denny Heron. Now Bullard franked by Gillies. And Bullard came back up with a stick. Gillies really cranked Mike Bullard in behind the goal. Now Hillier, and now we got a fight. It's centered, and it's a fight with Randy Hillier. Now Gillies has his gloves off. Hillier and Sutter started to throw. Trottier has a hold of Maxwell. Well, Dwayne Sutter and Randy Hillier started to mix it up. Well, it is nice to see somebody step in. Bullard, I don't think it's going to be quite the match for Gillies.
Dwayne Sutter saying something to Denny Heron, and those two have been going at each other all night long.
They've had a couple of goals over the years, Dwayne Sutter and Denny Heron. I remember one night here, a fight between Paul Baxter and Dwayne Sutter at the time, and Baxter with a left hook knocked Sutter out. But that's quite some time ago, and Baxter no longer with a pin. You don't see that happen too often, a one-punch type of fight. They started to go, and Baxter just caught him with a left hook, and that was it. It was all over. Just down went Sutter, Dwayne Sutter, and it was good night. Now Bullard's going to go off here. So is Randy Hillier.
Bullard does not like that.
I don't know if
he's going off.
Gillies is in the box too. Well, Gillies gave Bullard a pretty good little cross check. Timeout right now. The Islanders lead at 4-1. 5-4.
Super slashing, Hillier of the Penguins, super roughing, Gillies of the Islanders, super roughing, and Dwayne Sutter of the Islanders.
Well, there's a look at Dennis Potvin talking with Don Koharski. Penalties, Bullard for slashing, Hillier for roughing, Gillies gets roughing, and Sutter 5 minutes for fighting. And I guess Randy Hillier wasn't fighting. And Sutter came in, and you could see him come in and go after Hillier, because Hillier came up and kind of gave Clark Gillies a little push. Mike Bullard really did, when you think about it, he did reach out and kind of whack Gillies with the stick. He was down on his back when he did it, and he gets the slashing call. In a couple of minutes, Penguins will have themselves some power play time.
Now it's on a major penalty too. That'll be when the power play will go into effect. The Penguins have 2 men in the box, of course, and Bullard and Randy Hillier. And the Isles with Dwayne Sutter and Clark Gillies. So they'll skate at 3 aside here for the next 2 minutes. And from the drop of the puck, it will be the Penguins. John Chabot in control of it to Todd Charlesworth. 4-1 the Islanders lead. 5:40 to go in regulation time. Charlesworth up to the Islander line and drills it long to the net. Rudy makes the stop. Potvin takes it from behind the goal and wraps it around to Gerald Diddick. Diddick leaving it back to the Islander captain, Potvin. Potvin moves into the Penguins end. Drop pass to Diddick. Diddick right side going to Potvin. Potvin wristing one. That's stopped by Heron. And he'll tap it over to John Chabot. Back it goes to Buskus. Weaves his way into the Islander zone. Throw it up the boards. Came towards the goal. And now lifted back to center for Anders Keller. Islander forward working out here. He is stopped by Buskus. Bumped on the play, and Charlesworth takes possession of it. 58 seconds to go in the penalties. And Charlesworth moves in. He tried to make a play here. He's held by Pearson. They both go down. Puck is free on the near side. Well, it's underneath Charlesworth. They're going to face off in Islander territory. In 48 seconds, both Bullard and Hillier will come on, and along with Clark Gillies of the Islanders, and then the time left 3 minutes on the major penalty to Dwayne Sutter. You know, it's amazing, this Islander team. Maybe not quite the team they were over the last Stanley Cup years. You can play it any way you want. If you want to play it rough, they've got the people to do that. If you want to play a hard-working, grinding style, they've got a lot of people that can skate, too. They've got a very, very sound hockey club here. And they've got muscle to back it up, too. Washington somewhat the same way. Really, they've had the least number of penalties issued to them of any team in the NHL. When the going gets tough, they've got the people to stand in there and be able to do it.
Well, that game between Washington and the Islanders last week, It was on the cable. It was just a great hockey game. And the Caps won the game, of course, and it was a war.
4.5 to go in regulation time. Trottier relaying the puck back to Janssen. And he'll step into the Penguins' end. Very tough division, the Patrick division. Janssen giving the puck to Pearson, back to Janssen. The Islanders content to work the time off the clock. They lead 4-1. LaFontaine gliding along the ice. Drop pass back, Janssen. He's an underrated hockey player, too, is Thomas Janssen. Here's Dineen. Back to Janssen. He has played some forward here in New York. He's going to skate the puck back, and with that pass back to Dineen. 5 seconds to go in the penalties. Penguins are going to get a power play out of this. This will be their 8th power play chance. They haven't scored yet. And they trail 4-1. The Islanders find the opening. We're into that major penalty now to Dwayne Sutter. Maxwell right behind his own net. To the left wing boards. Too far for Mario Lemieux. And Dineen puts it back to the Penguin line. McDonnell to Doug Bodger. Bodger looked ahead. Came off a stick. Now Lemieux carries it in. Mario Lemieux. Wrap it around the boards around to the left wing corner. Bossy in a penalty killing role. Could not clear. Lemieux has it again. Lemieux with Bullard behind the cage goes to McDonnell. Going to shoot it. Let it go. And the stop made. Rebound. And Young can't put it in. Now it's back in front. Bullard can't find the handle. The Islanders score it to the blue line, but not out. McDonnell Lemieux moves in. Put it in front. And Young couldn't tap it in. Good pass by Lemieux that time, but maybe just a little bit too hard. Young couldn't deflect it. He's tired. I think he wants to come off here. We're down now to 2 minutes to go in the penalty. 2:50 to go in regulation time. Bullard to Young. Young steps into the Islanders' end. He'll go to Lemieux. Mario drags it over to the left point. Pushing off the boards and behind the net. Young went after with Pearson. Bullard is there also. Now they give the puck to Young. Young's trying to work his way free. Bullard has the puck. He can't make a pass. Pearson finally gets a face-off. And we've got 2:25 to go in the third period. The Islanders lead 4-1. We'll be back here in a moment, right here in the Penguins Hockey Network. Face-off in the Islanders' end. John Shabbat in against Brent Sutter. Sutter taking Shabbat against the boards, and Sutter comes away with the puck. Good play by Brent Sutter. Off it comes to Janssen. Back to Brent Sutter. Wheelers way for the Penguin zone. Just left it right there. And the Islanders now with 2:10 to go in regulation time. 1:18 to go in the major penalty. To Dwayne Sutter. Left wing board. Bodger is in. Going to Shedden. Put it in front. And the Pens can't pull the trigger. Shedden again has it. They can't do it again. Aziri was decked by Pearson right in front of the net. Shabbat to Hillier. Walks in. Hillier shooting. And the stop is made by Rudy. And that puck is cleared away. 53 seconds to go in the penalty. 1:40 to go in the third period. 4-1 New York. Bodger is up to center. He'll go to John Shabbat. And to the left wing to Doug Shedden. Rudy with a good save on Hillier. It'll be Trottier passing ahead to Anders Kaller. He's got Trottier open. Kaller takes the shot himself, and Heron turned that away with a stick. Into the near corner. Bob Erie losing the puck to Kaller. And Kaller gets a face-off in the Penguins' end with just 25 seconds to go. Well, you've got to give the Islander penalty-killing unit tonight. Everybody that has been out there has been just superb. And conversely, the Penguin power play, we've mentioned this several times, just has not done much. The Islanders have done a good job. They've had a shorthanded goal and a number of chances shorthanded.
That was an excellent save by Denny Heron on that backhand shot by Anders Kaller, because he really snapped it off. He was going to his left, shot it back to his right. That's what makes the backhand shot so tough to stop, because you're going one way and you often will shoot it back the other. And Heron was very quick and got the stick out and made the save. Penguins have a big game tomorrow night at the arena against the Los Angeles Kings, and hoping to snap out of these doldrums a little bit and beat the Kings, who were blown out by the Caps last night but have played pretty well on their road trip in the East. Los Angeles playing pretty well all season long, actually.
Al Trottier gets the assignment, and the intense look of Brian Trottier. The puck play to the Penguin net. Lemieux gains possession. Lemieux's pass to Charlesworth, and up on the right wing to Rod Buskus. Into the left wing corner. Dineen is the first man there. He'll play it back to center with a minute to go in the game. 8 seconds now left in the penalty. Buskus looking for Lemieux. It's off his stick. And Potvin. The Islanders are going to win 4 in a row. And it will be Dineen. The Islanders will take the lead in the season series 4-2 with 1 game left between the two teams. Bullard moves back into Islander ice to Young. Young trying to pass to Lemieux. He's checked from behind by Bossy. Bossy, who has 2 of the Islander goals tonight. Trottier the other pair. We're down to 25 seconds and an offside call against the Finns. Hartford leading the Rangers 2-1 in the 3rd period. Well, the New Jersey Devils and Pittsburgh Penguins are tied. And the Rangers losing again tonight. That game is not over yet.
The Penguins have 5 games coming up with the Rangers before this year is over. And a couple of home and homes, and on both of those home and homes, the Penguins will have the first game at home at the Civic Arena. You know, people are constantly talking about the Penguins and Rangers, but now you really have to worry about those New Jersey Devils. They play a good checking, hard-working style of hockey, and that really is well suited for the stretch drive.
The rumor mill has Doug Carpenter of the Devils may be going to Chicago. He definitely has a 1-year contract. They haven't signed him for any more than that. That's the rumor mill, and you get a lot of rumors here in New York. We're down to 10 seconds to go in the game. Right in front of the penalty boxes. And the puck played back into Islander ice. 5 seconds left. And here is Johnson controlling as time runs out. That's it. Final score tonight. The New York Islanders have defeated the Pittsburgh Penguins. The final New York 4, the Pens 1. This is the Penguins Hockey Network.